Oh, blimey. Hello. How are you all doing today? How is it? I remembered it was Monday today. Well, that's sort of normal, isn't it, I suppose? But nevertheless, I'm here again. Hi. It's technically a day off today, but why not? You know, I don't really have much else to do, and might as well hang out for a bit. So how's it been? How's your Easter been? It's a very boring question, really, if you think about it. But hopefully it was good. You're welcome to tell me about it. On this stream, on the Monday, we talk about War Thunder for a bit. Sometimes other stuff. It doesn't really matter, really. Mostly War Thunder, obviously, because that's what this whole sphere is about. But if you'd like to talk about other things too, that's completely welcome. Either way, how's it been? Um, I also, so I don't know how long I can do this one. This might be a bit briefer than usual because I can't really see out of this eye, and it means looking at text is a bit difficult. So you may see my face looks different. It's because I'm facing in the other direction. Usually I face this way, and so you know there's a bit of difference there. I always feel like I look like two different people when I face in different directions. Um, Maybe that's the case, maybe not. So how's it going? Hello YouTube too. Hi, hi, hi. Um, Red, immediately, man. We've been here for like a minute. Already coming in. I don't want to be thinking about that right now. I don't. That was simultaneously a good moment and something I don't want to repeat. But well, maybe I don't know. Um, but yeah, that was 1 minute in, man. That's like a speed run for embarrassing me. So sort of do that myself by existing anyway. Um, yeah. Hi, I'm trying to pick on something here, YouTube, but it's mostly just Polish, of which I can't read, unfortunately. Um, Parting your hair makes you like a different person. Maybe. I am getting a haircut tomorrow. I'm being, well, not really forced to, but it was sort of ordained for me. So I'll probably look quite different soon. Well, maybe not different. I don't know. Um, right. Week was stressful. How come? Why this? That's not very good. Um, when will the store have more German packs returning? It's not really a case of the packs returning to the store. They basically never do that. They only really come back in collection packs, or they will come back not as pack vehicles, but as for G instead. So it may be the case that that's how they return, especially for the BF109Z, which I don't believe sold much. And that was the reasoning back in the day, but they'll probably come back at some point. I mean, there's plenty of opportunity. Some interesting possibilities soon as well, perhaps. So I would say don't lose hope. Uh, Watch all of your 1 to 2 hour videos. Thanks. I'm glad that you like them. There'll hopefully be more soon. I'm just, no, I'm still. I don't know if it is because I had corona. Like it was fine. Like nothing serious at all. But I got it, and then I had the long term effects. I think I still have them, but I don't. Obviously, I don't know. But I can't play the game as well as I used to right now. So I'm just sort of waiting for that to happen so I can actually make videos look good again. So we'll have to wait on that. But I'm working on it. Working on it. Red man, this is like back and back japes. This is like double tapping japes with me today, man. I went to sleep at like 5 and then got woken up at 6 by the cat and then just sort of laid there and thought that I don't know if it was a dream, but I thought that I did something wrong or that like I ruined something and I laid there like thinking about it for 4 hours and not remembering what it was. I don't know if it was a real thing that I did or if it was a dream or if it's just that I'm projecting worry onto something. I don't know. But that was, yeah, I've not really not really been to sleep. Also, I can put on some background footage. Let's do that. It's looking at my half face and some wallpaper engine backgrounds. Is this right? Okay, it's actually kept my camera as well. Very nice. You know what did I do, man? I don't know. I really don't know. Like maybe I did do something. I think I just worry about. I think this is why I never say anything to anyone because as soon as I do, I I sort of convince myself that I've I don't know messed something up. Um, How should I play the Sherman Firefly? Well, it's there's kind of two parts of it. There's the kind of conservative part and like the active part. With the Firefly, obviously the main thing really to mitigate with it is where you engage from. Obviously that's really important for every vehicle, but unlike the other Shermans, it doesn't have a gyro stabilizer. And the gun is very, very bouncy. So most times, if you're, because of how the Firefly is and how heavy the gun is, it's a very unstable platform. So when you're driving around with it, you meet a tank, you're rolling around. If you try and come to a stop and level the gun off, it will usually level off slower than what you're fighting most of the time. And as you fire solid shot, you need to make a good hit. So the most important thing for playing it safely is really being defensive. You have a great gun for sniping. 4.7's really good. Even at 5.7, you can work pretty well with that gun. And because the gun works so effectively, you don't really need to get very close to do work. Obviously, with some things like the Panthers, yeah, it's going to be hard at range. But keeping yourself alive is obviously the main thing most of the time. And so sticking to a more defensive playstyle is absolutely the best for it. You can play it at close range. That's what the other part of the what I said at the start was, in that it's a vehicle that does kind of, there's nothing that really stops you from doing it. It's just not as reliable, because if you get caught out, you will get punished for it more than you would in other vehicles. So it's kind of depending on your how confident you are with it. But generally speaking, I would absolutely go with something more defensive. You don't really need to be close to an enemy to do well. But you do have that like fast turret traverse. You're not really the most mobile, but reactive enough to readjust quickly. But to keep yourself alive, there's not really any disadvantage from staying at long range with a gun like that. That's what I would do. Red, no, this is lies. You don't know that. Push down. That was honest? Okay. Well, not really much sleep. Like, just, man, my eyes suck. Polish Firefly? Yes, I can't pronounce it. Can anyone... the name of the Firefly Premium in the British tree? If there's any Polish people here, can you write in the chat how to pronounce it? Because I don't know how to. Someone explained to me once and I've immediately forgotten. Hello, Midia. How are you doing? How was your Easter? If you did anything for it. I don't think many people do anymore. Hints on the next battle pass. And it's the new elephant in the room, isn't it? I've already been PM'd about that today. It's just, hi, I promise I won't tell anyone. Please, can you tell me about the battle pass? What can I tell you about it? I'm not sure what ambient noise I'm making there. But one of them is very cool. The other one is pretty cool. And the other one looks very nice. That's what I would say, I suppose. But I can't say too much, of course. Can't really see still. Let me move myself. I'm kind of getting caught on the edge of the screen. Where's my face? There it is. Terrible. Great. Where's my mouse? There it is. Hello. Is there a War Thunder power couple? I don't think so. But it'd be great if there was. Maybe in the future. Let's go. Let's make one. Oxy and Fly. Me and Fly are not a power couple, unfortunately. He is very, very happy in his current situation, from what I understand, which is great. And I love that. This is old footage? It is indeed, yes. It takes a while to get new sets, especially right now, because I don't think I'm doing, like, super. But, I'll try soon. Xenovas, no, like, I mean, odds, like, the power, like, we can do, like, I know, there can be a War Thunder power couple, but Odd's already with someone, so is Fly. So, that doesn't work. Translated in English, it's Trinic? Right? I don't know if that's, I mean, I really don't know, but, Hello, Dragon. How are you doing? It's nice to see you here. I don't think I've seen you here on Monday before. Hello, how are you doing? Um, Happy Easter, War Thunder. Happy Easter to you, Adam. I hope it went well. Will there be a May Day sale? Perhaps. I would say the chances are likely for something. Um, Gaijin never had the market to console. Um, yeah, like unfortunately, it's not down to us. Sony and Microsoft don't allow kind of internal marketplaces on their platforms. So even though we'd obviously love to do it, it's not something we can actually do. They disallow it entirely. So it's not on us. It's not that we're just not adding it for any particular reason. We actually can't do that, unfortunately. So not possible right now, which is a shame. But if they change their legislation or ruling in the future, then maybe we could. Actually at work, but it's bank holiday. Yeah. Okay. Well, that's nice to see you. Yeah, it's bank holiday here too, but I mean, I don't really have much else to do today, so I'm here. I'm okay-ish though. How's you? I'm okay. I'm sort of don't know. I feel a bit strange at the moment. I'm not really sure what that means. Well, I usually describe it as feeling floaty, if that makes any sense. Yeah, I'm a bit sleepy, a bit kind of. I know what that means. But thanks for asking, and I'm glad you're okay-ish. Although I'm less glad that you're not good, which would be. Have you eaten today? Not yet. I had some blueberries yesterday though, like a little tub of them. Those are really nice. Like blueberries are my favorite thing right now. On a whole blueberry thing. All the shops are closed, so can't really get anything. I have a beverage. I have one of the old cans from behind the TV, and some water. So I'm tripling up on fluids. What did I miss? Who's Oxy's choice for a power couple? That is secret. Can't tell you that. Can I? I can. I won't. Your YouTube series of each tier nation by nation is in Beacon Valley. Oh, I see what you mean. Oh, thanks. I'm really glad. I will hopefully have more soon. I need to just figure out some system to not be garbage at doing stuff with the game. I also can't do voiceover here right now, which is a shame because I don't know. We've got this new XLR system, and for whatever reason, the audio recording systems that I use don't pick it up. So I came in on Sunday. I walked all the way to the office and I couldn't do it. So I just sort of sat here for a while and like sadly drank a coffee and went home. So, excuse me. So I need to figure out how to do that. I will, my mic. What's this about power couples? Someone asked like, who's the War Thunder power couple? And we realized there wasn't one. So the only choice is to make one, I guess. Well, not really. Can't really make something like that happen. It just kind of has to happen, you know? Thank you for the egg, Forsaken Plant. That's very good. Stuffy. Granny. Yeah. You had some good ones. I'm in awe of your ability to pull good cards. And I think you had some of the best ones. Both on a power couple as me in this bottle of vodka. Anecdote about that. Like one of the people that I lived with who moved out, I bought him a bottle of vodka for Christmas. And obviously it was wrapped, so we didn't know what it was, but it was obviously a bottle. And it just sat like he moved out last month and the bottle just sat there for like 4 months or whatever, and he didn't open it. So there was just like a wrapped bottle outside of his door with his name on it, and he never opened it. So there's just so now I just have his vodka again. I don't know why he didn't open it. It made me really sad. Either way, War Thunder flavored. I don't know. What flavor would War Thunder be? Don't answer that. Maybe not, maybe not. Yeah, free vodka. It was actually really good. The bottle's quite cool as well. There's a button on the bottom, and you press the button, and the whole bottle lights up. I Before I finished the sentence, Dwagon, I knew somebody would say that as the first comment, and you're right. Yeah, not really sure that's the best for hard drugs as a flavor, but you know, I'm not really in the sphere to judge. The spoon keeps hitting me in the cheek. I don't appreciate that. Can you rig the next 50 matches in my flavor? In my flavor? In my favor? I can try. Maybe by sort of, I don't know, what is it? What's that thing? Transcendental medic. I would say like transcendental medication, which is not what I wanted to say. It's the meditation that you can make things happen from far away. I think Mystery Hunters did a thing on that. I think I'm in another lifetime at the moment. Frenzy, no, shush. We can't say this yet. I just put jelly babies into vodka. That sounds really good, actually. I need to investigate this. That'll be a plan. I nearly did something like that at Tankfest last year. I just put like lots and lots of gin in a water bottle so I could get it through the gate. That was really nice, although I got really dehydrated and just slept a lot. This year, though, I will mix it with something else. Thank you for the AVRE. Oh, no worries, yeah. This man's does a lot of charity stuff, and it's very good. And I hope they enjoyed AVRE. Make sure the spoon isn't the only thing that hits your cheek. NPC trade offer, what could you possibly mean? What else could there be, huh? Spotlight's on you, Chief. What have you got to say? Waiting. Watching War Thunder while playing War Thunder? That's meta. I can respect it. I'm telling David Fletcher on you, do it. I'll beat him up. Actually, I won't, obviously. I mean, I can't beat anyone up, even if I tried. This wouldn't work. I wouldn't beat him up anyway. He's pretty cool. Do you consider removing the spoon from the mug? I could, but then I don't know where to put it. I'd have to like rest it on the table, and there's going to be sort of residue there. And I'm not a fan of residue. So I could tuck it into this. Yeah, I'll do that. No, I won't. That's stupid. I'll just wait. I'll hold it until the residue gets off and put it on the table. You know, semicolon close bracket? I don't think I do NPC trade offer. You'll have to tell me. Come on now. Do you like playing Loter Aviation? Yeah. I mean, what constitutes as Loter, really? But I like playing everything. I think I like props really more than jets. I like the. I think I know there's more to the individual fights that you have, and I like that. I don't know really. Well, I think I'm kind of in the minority for that kind of line of thinking, but I like it. I like early stuff, and plus I think early aircraft are more interesting, just in as terms of design. So I like playing those a bit more. And plus, in the climb to altitude, I can like do little exercises, which I started doing recently. That's really good. Do 20 squats every time you side climb. For real, you'll get swole. I don't, Red, no. Actually, I think we do, but they're part of espresso coffee sets. I might have to make one of those later if my brain starts turning off, which I very well might, so we'll see. Just lick the spoon. I don't want to do that right now, because I know what people will do with the picture of me doing it. Man. Honey and coffee? That is a renegade perspective. I kind of respect it though. Maybe I'll try that. Brain is hyperactive, so jets and high to tanks are my thing. Yeah, completely fine. I'm quite, I don't know, I'm a bit more docile with the game, I guess. So that's probably why I tend to stick to, like, the earlier stuff. Yeah. But, I can appreciate that. Like, I don't think top tier's bad or anything. It's just, I prefer other stuff. Like your shirt? Thanks. It's a jumper. I quite like it as well. It's got lots of different colors on it. Bit of green, bit of cream, bit of red, bit of white. I like it. I like it. Why do people I dogfight crash themselves instead of letting me kill them? Yeah, I don't know how long you've been around for. Like back in the day, it was a really annoying thing where you'd beat someone and they just J out because it wouldn't give you the kill. Now it does. But yeah, I still have instances where I'm trying to like go for a bomber that's like 5k away, and then it will just deliberately rip its wings. Um, yeah, but it's difficult because if someone J's out, that's kind of easy because they are deliberately trying to not give you the kill, so you can mitigate for that. But if someone like rips their wings, that might not be, you know, intentional to not give someone the kill. They might have done it accidentally, and then you're giving a kill to someone who didn't really deserve it. But you can kind of count that as like a maneuver kill, I guess. So maybe there's something to think about there. I'll write that down for next week. How many women are you dating at once? None, no one. No dating is occurring at present. I'll write that down. There's 2 things I need to annoy people with tomorrow. This is the 3rd. Cool. Hello, Josh. Or Joshua. I can't see that. Eye is bad. How are you doing? How was your weekend? Make a OWOXY, a decal? Maybe. There's some like stream stuff in the works that we can do like that. I would like to make some decals. Like for the stream pack. Right. Explain warm beer, please. I'm not sure what there is to explain. It's just sort of a... Just kind of happens. That was a really boring thing to say. I could have said something funny with that, but I didn't. And I might actually make an espresso. It'll kill me later because I'm meant to go out for a bit and like talk to a colleague about something important. See. Maybe. Media shush. Can't say that right now. I have to hide behind the mic if you do that. But thank you. Very sweet. Oh, Cursed Gamers, it is going. How is it going for you? Who went down on purpose killing themselves? Yeah, like, I think the only reason that that's not, like, it doesn't give you the kill like Jaying out right now is because it's easier to do it by accident, I guess. And, you know, I guess they just don't want to give people kills when they completely don't deserve them. But I think I don't know, there probably have to be more data on it. Because if it's more common that people, like, deliberately rip their wings to avoid giving you a kill, then, you know, that to mitigate for that. But it's kind of hard to get data on that, I guess. I will ask about it, though. I'll ask about it tomorrow when people are back in the office and stuff. I will. Be doing any live gameplay? Not today, but I will do some soon, hopefully. Assuming a bit of War Thunder on my burner channel. I don't think anyone's realized it's me yet, but I don't know if the gameplay on that's very good either. But yes, on main channels, yes. I will hopefully be doing some more soon. Egg, thank you for the egg, Moon. I can't say the first part of your name. Oh, Sun to Moon. Sun and Moon? Maybe. Sort of like a Midlands way of saying it. I like it. Let's like, I made that decal for my Twitch, like, how long ago was that, Foof? That must have been like, man, 4 years ago now? Like, or maybe even 5 years ago? Probably 4 years ago, but yeah, that's an ancient decal. Because all I ate was toast, so, which is kind of still the case. I'm still too kitchen. But Streamlabs again, man. Shaking my head. Don't need to tell people to clip stuff. People will clip stuff, Streamlabs. Oh no. Thanks, Dragon. I appreciate. I have to go to work. I leave with my final statement. Crab. That was like the... I really loved that card. That was great. Like, I think crabs are just funny. Just the word crab is just funny to me. I don't know why. There's a lot of things like that that I like. But, yes, hope work goes well. Tell me about it later, if you like. You don't have to. Yeah, you're welcome, Dragon. What's your opinion of Sweden in general? I quite like it. They've got a lot of unique vehicles. And their gun depression universally lets you play in ways that other vehicles can't, which is good in like a number of ways. You can use basically more areas of the map reliably than any other tree, basically. And on some maps, that really gives you a lot of ability to min-max where you are. And I think that's really, really good. They've got some great vehicles. The APHE in the mid tiers is really good. High tier have got some great lineups. Low tier are a bit more tricky because they're one of the only early nations that doesn't have a shoulder stabilizer. So you need to be a bit more defensive. But the Sabo means you can work in up tiers pretty well. So yeah, I like it. I think it's worth playing. It's quite a short tree in general, but they've got some really fun vehicles, and I think ultimately is a sort of one of the smaller nations trees. It's one of the better ones for sure. So I would recommend giving it a go. Thank you for the crab spam, YouTube. Appreciate it. Appreciate it. Love to see it. Love to see it. Do you get caffeine jitters when you drink coffee? Usually, if I don't eat very much, I will kind of have it. Have I eaten recently? I don't think so. Yeah, I don't have anything right now, but I might if I have another beverage. We'll see. Doing okay, doing okay. Will camo netting cosmetics ever happen? Maybe. It's quite difficult to do, I think, on the base level of there's some, I can't remember exactly, but I think there's some issue with making it work as they want it to work. So it might take a while to actually do if they are going to do it. But it's one of those things that might come in the future, but it's not really a priority because cosmetic stuff is great, obviously. Making stuff look nice is really good. But I don't know, it's not really as important as other things to work on. So it's kind of on the back burner until there's time a lot of the time. So yeah, I don't know if it'll be anytime soon or at all. But it's definitely something that I think is being still considered. Toast supremacy? Correct. What's your burner account? I can't. It only works if people don't know it's me, which kind of, I think I'm doing a pretty good job, although there's only 5 Andys in there watching. So, but still, I think it's fun. I like being anonymous for a bit. Crab? Yes. Yes, Foof. It'll be very soon. A really cool hat was another good one. That was really good. I could not choose that. It's I remember totally the anecdote of the guy at the pub that I used to go to with my dad, and his his name was oh, what was his first name? I think it yeah, his name was Mark, but his nickname was Mickey the Hat because he never wore hats. And for whatever reason, one of the people in the pub just gave him that nickname. So there was a guy that we called Mickey the Hat because he never had a hat. And that was, I think, that interaction when I was 5. Because my dad always used to just take me to the bar when I was really young. Apparently when I was 2, he went into the Crown and Anchor and he put me on the side of the bar and said, Les, the barman's like, Les, look what I did. Look at that. Mental, isn't it? And so, I was always knocking about from a young age. Probably not great, but, atmosphere's all right. Make some good friends. How does the shoulder stabilizer work? On most early vehicles, I think from about 11 kilometers, maybe a bit less now, I think. But it basically levels your gun off when you come to a stop. So instead of the gun brake, it bounces and then stabilizes and levels. It basically, you slow down, then you lock. So you have, depending on your cruise skill, a fair bit of time to get an accurate shot off before your enemy. And so that's why the Shermans are so good, because they have the gyro stabilizer. And some low-tier vehicles, the Panzer 38Ts, Stuarts, A13s, Panzer IIs, Chihar, I think, has one as well. It stabilizes the gun when you're quite slow, which means you can get an accurate shot off quickly, which is really important. And yeah, you'll see it you won't see it right now unless I turn the camera off. But on some vehicles, on the part of the bottom left where you have the vehicle indicator, it will have something that says stab at the top. And if it has that, the vehicle has a stabilizer of some sort, and you'll see it in most low-tier vehicles like that. It's really useful. Can you say me when helicopters come to China? I cannot. But soon, hopefully. It's just that it's quite difficult to find information on them, which is the main thing. With helicopters, there's a lot to get wrong in terms of information. So, from what I understand, that's why it's taking so long to have them in the game. Thank you for the cats, nicer. Very sweet, very sweet. Love it, love it. Hi, Roxy, how are you? I'm doing okay. I think, do I mean that? Yes, I think I do. Not too bad. I'm quite sleepy at the moment. I always feel weird in summer. I don't like. Sorry, I'm not really talking much about War Thunder at the moment. Do any of you have this? When it gets warm, or like when it kind of feels like it's becoming summery, or just getting warm in general, I kind of feel really, I don't know, just like melancholy, I guess. I don't know what that comes from. If it's like, but every single summer I feel just, I don't know if it's like loneliness or like what it is. I really, really don't know, but I always feel the same pretty much every summer. And I think there's a name for it, I think. Like in some seasons you just feel a bit like off, I guess. So I don't really know exactly what it is, but I'm one of the people that feel like that. I wonder if anyone else does as well. Why do you call it a burner and not an alt? I don't know. I think it's just I use the term burner for other things, but alt's probably the better name. Yeah, that's a fair point. This is one of the witches. How do you remember the witches of Eastbourne? How do you remember the witches of Eastbourne? That's like ancient lore from me. Yeah, there was some there was some women that used to come into the pub called the Witches of Eastbourne, and they always tried to just sort of, I don't know, coerce me into doing things like just. They were fun. They were also a bit mental, but the best people kind of are. Do you do the Sigma grind set? What would that be to you? What's the Sigma grind set to you? Yeah, 6 pounder shoulder stabs are very big love. Love to see it, love to see it. Those are actually really nuts. I love that gun. If only it had APHE like the M1 cannon, it would be absolutely incredible. GR long gun is definitely stabilized. Yes, I love that thing. It's so good. Really unique as well. I love vehicles like that. They're different. They make you play different. There's just lots of different parts to them that make them special, and I like that. The heat or the pollen? I think it's the heat. The heat's always what kind of changes the mindset for me. Yeah, I really can't describe it, but I always just feel a bit sort of like I'm missing something in the summer. Well, I don't really know what I'm missing because I don't really do much. So I guess I haven't found what that is yet. But yeah, I always just feel a bit. No. Yeah, I'm not sure. Sure, Dragon. Do you like the Moderna? Yeah, it's fine. It's not really. I don't think it really excels. It's a very sort of, I don't know. It's like I don't really know how I describe it. We played maybe like 20, 30 games in it. They're pretty good. I mean, we only lost a couple of games. That's because dream teaming. But I mean, offensively, it's pretty fine against certain like hull down. It's really really good. The hull is I think uses the A hull still, so it's quite weak there. But with good positioning and stuff, it's it's a good T72. I don't think it's overpowered or anything. It's just pretty standard. It has the same drawbacks as all the other vehicles. But I don't think it's bad at all. Stereo Mill, good or not good? Big vehicles with long reloads, weak armor, and that are slow are usually some of the hardest vehicles in the game to use and balance. The Stereo is one of those. When that thing came out, for perspective, I grinded all the camos for that thing when it was 6.3, and now it's 4.3, and it basically plays exactly the same. So a vehicle like that will pretty much always be difficult to use. You can play it like at a way higher BR, and it will basically do exactly the same thing because the gun's never the problem. Anything you hit's going to die most of the time. It's just putting yourself in a position that you're not going to get rushed or flanked, and that's the most important thing for which makes it difficult. To the point where the Dicker Max might even be a better choice because of the reload. Anything you penetrate is going to die. You can't overmatch quite as well with the Dicker Max, but it's still the reload is what carries those vehicles, yeah, a bit better than the alternative. So the Störer I don't think is great. Because of that BR, you've got a lot of decent options, and I don't think you really need the 128's killing power there. Unless, you're in a full up tier, you meet a Jumbo or something, that's probably the one that kind of would take it. I think if you have more crew slots, it's good to have it if you are in a full up tier and you know you're going to fight stuff you can't usually deal with the short 75. That's probably the only reason why I would consider taking it out over other options, because it's just really difficult to reliably make it work, and that's not really anything that you're doing wrong if you're not making it work. It's just the vehicle's inherent drawbacks can't really mitigate them. And so, I don't think it's great, but it's still fun, to slot stuff with the 128. You can't say that. Maybe I mean that too, huh? Chuffing witches and everything. I know, yeah. That's sort of what it's like in the sort of south. I think I'm going to visit the UK in the next 2 weeks. Foof, do you want to come over? Because I need to sort through about 400 boxes of World War II like memorabilia and aircraft diagrams and stuff, because it's like full up in my flat. I need to sort it out, and I don't think I can do it on my own. If you want to come over, I will pay for your train, because I have like a week to sort through all of my stuff and like go and see my dad. I don't know if I'll have enough time. So for real, I need someone to help me sort through stuff. Although hopefully it won't be boring. I don't know. For real, I don't know. I'm not completely joking with that, by the way. Just someone, please. When Dragon title? I'm working on it. The reason people die is because they just bad LMAO. I mean, to an extent, you can dumb it down to that, but it's not really a very accurate way of talking about problems with vehicles and difficulties and that kind of thing. And if you're good, you're still gonna die. This game isn't like, I know, like the people who are like crazy nuts at crazy good at CS:GO. I mean, if you're like average at that game and you're playing against someone who does it professionally, you basically will never touch them. But in this game, it is possible to die without making a mistake. And so that's kind of true. I mean, obviously, you're going to do, that's like, you will do well if you are good. Yeah. But there are some instances where there's not really much you can do. Like this game, it's impossible to have a meaningful impact on the match and also guarantee your absolute survival. You can't do that. So yeah, in very basic terms, that's the case. But in less basic terms, there are things you can't really mitigate. There are hard things you can't compensate for. Shut up. And things like reload and lack of mobility are one of them. Hetzer gun is good or fine. It's good. The gun suffers a bit in up tiers with some vehicles, but generally that gun is really capable. And the Hetzer is really fun too. Full box. KV1 goes bounce bounce? Yes, absolutely. KV1's very good. KV1's S5 is nuts vehicle. Should play it. Do you think the Panda 2 is better than the Tiger 2? In terms of the mobility, I think so. In that, I think the Panda 2 is a slightly longer reload, 11.1 seconds, as opposed to, what is it on the Tiger 2? 9.1? 9.7, I think? So that does hold it back a bit, but the mobility and the rangefinder really help. It lets you do a lot. So probably the Panda 2 is better. But it depends. I mean, it depends how you with it. Yeah, Midia, I have an online business where I frame old stuff, like aircraft diagrams, old manuals, some like tank recognition. So when I have free money, I don't have free money anymore, but when I did, I bought all the stuff I could for a decent price. And so I have a lot to sort out because there's just like boxes to the ceiling in the middle of my apartment in the UK. and I need to go and sort through it and catalog it. So I think I need some help with that. Honest, the interiors tree bounce random? Interesting, interesting. Curious, almost. Why are you making this face, Dragon, huh? What's this for? How would you recommend to play the Electo? I mean, I haven't played it yet, and I'm not really too familiar with the mobility and that kind of thing. But it's going to be difficult. From testing it, the gun really does not do reliable damage with the heat. I think that's a really difficult part because it's, you know, not immensely... It's like similar-ish to the Steyr Mill in that way. It's got a long reload, unreliable damage in terms of one-shot potential. For a gun at that tier with that reload, you want a one-shot. Mobility is okay. Like, it would be okay for a turreted tank, but not really for a turretless tank. And, you know, with the reverse gear, you know, with tanks that have no armor, no turret, and a poor reverse gear, can't really be very aggressive because if you poke around a corner, you fire, that's like 5 seconds to back out completely out of cover, and that's a long time for enemies to destroy you. So I think you really need to passive buffer it, you know, stick with teammates, because otherwise on your own, there's very little you can do with a vehicle like that. Hopefully the damage is going to get a bit more reliable. I mean, maybe I'm completely off. It's just from testing it, the damage did not seem like the reload justified it, to me at least. So I think you will need to be a bit passive, play with your team, and you know, you really need to be careful positioning it. But any kind of buffer that you can make, I think, could be really useful. So team. Endless Hellstorm, hello. How are you doing? Long time without being able to join the live stream. Well, we are glad you're here. How's it going? Sorry I'm missing lots of chat, by the way. Feel free to say your comment again if I've missed it. Because there's a lot to look at. I'm doing monologues again. Sorry, missing stuff. Whereabouts is your flat location? I mean, if anyone's serious about coming over, you can probably PM me. But I don't really want to say exactly where I live. I live opposite the sea in like the southeast, but like I'll literally pay for your train. I need help. I will pay for the National Rail, or is it National Rail all over the place? We use like HS1. I will buy an HS1 ticket for you to help me sort through old stuff. For real. We'll see. Maybe. Hello, Mr. William. How are you? The shop is called Ephemerical. You can type it. There's some it's on holiday mode, but you can find pictures on there. And yeah, I really enjoyed doing it. I'll definitely do more. Really can't see. This is bad. Just die, then spawn a plane forehead? Yes. DNC in the chat for me. Hello. How you doing? How was your Easter? Nicholas, shush. But I wish HS2 was coming here. Yeah. I want to... I see. Well, you know, that's on the cards too, as long as you help a little bit. Gonna hide behind the mic now. Actually, hopefully this isn't too loud. If it is, I'll move away. This chat is weird as hell. Allow it. Oh, Meteor. Yeah, I know what you mean. There'll be a lot to sort out, I think. But maybe not. Maybe there's less, because the thing is, my memory's really bad. I don't know exactly how much there is, but there's a lot of boxes and a lot of things to sort through. But then, you know, it'll probably be sorting stuff. I have a really good music player, so I'll probably just be listening to music and then sleeping a lot. I miss my bed in the UK. It was really nice, and I used to be able to sleep much better. But yeah, so it'll be nice. I live opposite the sea, and there's a balcony, so you can kind of, I know, look at the harbour and stuff, which is nice. Anyway, back on track. Sorry, that was ASMR. I didn't mean for it to be like that. Did anyone agree to go to the hairdresser? I'm being sort of passively forced to get a haircut tomorrow. One of the senior managers just said, "Hello, I've booked you an appointment. Go to it." Which, I don't know if they can do that. But anyway, I mean, maybe. I don't know what I'll do. I probably won't get the length cut too much. I might just sort of trim a bit, like get it shorter there so I can manage it better. I'm not sure. We'll see, we'll see. Hopefully it will not be awful. Otherwise I'll never come on stream again. Hello, Bino. Hi, hi, hi. And also goodbye, Bino. Bye, bye, bye. Where are you from, Bit Legions? Can you talk about the M4A3 105? Yes. So I was gonna like say yes and then completely ignore it. Yeah, it's a vehicle that's sort of relatively tricky to balance because, you know, if you know what you're doing, you know the maps, you know where to put a vehicle with frontal armor like that, it's going to be pretty insane. But if it's misplayed, which it most commonly is by, you know, early players, it's going to stick where it is at a relatively low BR. So yeah, it's tricky to, you know, ultimately put a vehicle like that in the best spot. I think it could probably be 3.0 just fine, but it's got a good lineup at 2.7, and you know, I think lineups are great. It's good to kind of maintain their ability to work. And so yeah, it's a hard one, but I like it. I mean, the reload works for the gun. Even the HE is actually really good for what it is. Like 105 HE is usually a bit inconsistent, but from that howitzer, it's really good. If you land that 105 shell underneath a lot of the tanks of the tier, they will one-shot. You hit Cupolas, they'll one-shot. And that can be pretty fun. 50 cal as well, really good. If you use the hull to mitigate the turret traverse, it's a really fun vehicle. Thank you for the egg. How perceptive. Yeah, I think it's worth playing if you like lower tier stuff, which is very valid too. I might get another one of these soon. I have a hidden stash of these next to the milk that expired in February 2021, which we don't talk about. Just remembered something funny, but it's only funny in German and I can't say the word. Anyway. I missed. You know, there's a chance to obtain the Panda 2 and KT 105, bit of a collector. I don't think so, but at the same time, I'm not in a position to completely say never with it. The difficulty with those vehicles is that they were removed because they're like ahistorical. They weren't able to function in their configuration in real life. Because, you know, we want to stray away from any vehicles than that ream. Why did I say ream? What did I want? What could I possibly have wanted to say? But I said ream by accident. Ream is like old slang that just means good. So anyway, basically the issue is that adding them back in kind of defeats the point of removing them. So I think it's unlikely, but at the same time, I don't know. Maybe for some, I hit my knuckle on the table. Maybe for maybe for like some event they'll come back, but I really don't know. I think it's quite unlikely, but maybe. In the same way, I think when something is made to replace them, we'll probably lose the R2Y2s as well. What milk? There's a cocktail you can buy here in Germany called, in English, it's man milk, like Männer milk. And I think it's like, what is it? It's like, it's milk, ice, and I don't know what else it's made with. I think it's not gin. It's like a white spirit, I think. It's actually deceptively good, but the thing is, it's not on the menu, so someone has to ask the waitress for man, and it's always really funny. And it tastes quite nice as well. So yeah, that was a good. That's a good moment. Say the word, Mr. German. That's not right. I can't agree with both of those. Ream? Yes, bear ream, as it would be. It makes it even funnier that it's like an under-the-table thing you ask for. It's like those people that... There's like an old... I don't know, I'm talking about this. There's like an old, like, ice-chewing forum, and there's like a really suspicious post where people write, here, I really like ice, ice milk, and milk is always in quotations. I like ice milk. Ice milk is the best ice you can have. It's always it's it's always really sinister. And that's really funny. Sorry, let's get back on track. Little tank joke for you there. Oh, I will respond to chat questions, Ukrainian dude. It's just the case that if you ask the same question over and over again, my brain will just filter it out. So yeah. Let's see. My eye is really going now, actually. Hidden stash of Vox's Mountain Dew. I'ma find it. You're welcome to have a look. It's very well hidden. But good luck. Best tank in your opinion? I mean, I don't think there's an answer. I really don't. There's so much that can kind of go into that. Like tier for tier in terms of reliability. It's so difficult to say. It really, really is. T-3485 is really good. Excuse me, is really good. Early M4 Shermans are really good. KV1's is 5. That's insane. T14, T18E2. There's some really good, like, usually like lower tier stuff from like 3.0 to 4, like between 3.0 and 5.0. Those vehicles are usually, can be really, really strong. Like where there's standout vehicles, like by a really long margin, it's usually in that bracket. Oh my God, really hurts. So yeah, I'd probably say something around there. Okay. Interesting. Man milk under the toe. Lydia, shush. Shush. Thank you for the egg redeem. Back on track. Because tanks have tracks. How about I go away and don't come back? Kinda, almost. Hello, Alex. How are you doing? You good today? You're watching. What are your thoughts on the Charlie Black Knight so far? Pretty good. I haven't played it a huge amount, but the APS is nice. I don't think it's as strong as a lot of people were worried it would be, but it adds a lot to the lineup. They now have a pretty good lineup of MBTs. They're still like a bit niche, the challenges, but they work really nicely. Yeah, I remember seeing the Black Knight at Tankfest. I wonder if it'll be here this year. Come say hi to me if you see me at Tankfest, by the way. I'll be there with Topsy, probably. And then, no, I can't say that yet. Secret. Yeah, I think it's really nice. The skin for its 2 is really good. I like that a lot. Yeah, it's obviously a difficult vehicle ultimately because it doesn't really have the reactive mobility to play exactly in the meta, but with some really good positioning that's maybe a little bit further away from the front line, it can be really nice. I like the challenges a lot. I have my own unique Challenger 2 in the game. Only I have it. Like our team won the YouTube Cup. And like if you won that, you could pick any vehicle in the game to like clone basically, and you'd have your own personal one. And I have my own personal Challenger 2. And a special camo, which is nice. Although I don't really play it, so it's very, very secret. What's your opinion on the Israeli ground tree? It lacks a lot of important lineup vehicles right now. Anti-air especially, some CAS for the early bracket. Personally, I'd like to see it go down a bit. I'm pretty sure they used 76 Shermans. That would be really good for the tree. So I think, honestly, I'd prefer, even at 6.0, to use a 76 with a stabilizer over the 105 Heat Sherman. So I think, overall, it's got a good foundation. There are some vehicles there that work nicely. There's like 2 good lineups there, I think. But they are lacking a little bit to make the tree really worth it, in my opinion. My day is always going well with an Oxy stream. Thank you. You're very sweet. I appreciate you being here. Can you talk about the SU-122? Because I can never kill it even from the side. Yeah, like the sides slope slightly, so if you're at a slight angle, you will... Its armor is... It's more armored than you think, really, I guess. Not that I know what you think the armor is like, but you know what I mean. From the front, the breach... the flat breach block is a good place to go for because you will usually orange or damage the breach that way, and that's a good way to disable it. you can go for the driver's block or the rounded like cheeks next to the gun. Um, if I'm in like a weaker vehicle with a 37mm or a 50, anything like that, 47, that's what I go for when I'm fighting that thing. Um, yeah, it is kind of difficult. That thing used to be awful before overpressure, but it's actually pretty good now. And that thing was at what, 3-3 back in the day. Yeah, it's pretty strong now. Those are the place, like those are the shots I would take for it. Yeah, it is. It can be a tricky one to fight against, especially with like weaker guns. Hello, Ullman. How do I pronounce your name? Actually, I've always been thinking my brain stopped. It's just gone. Can it come back, please? Thank you. I've always wondered about pronouncing your name. Please. Charlie 2 is sexy. I want them all. You're very correct on that one. I agree. They have 3 models of the SA-50. Yeah, they've a lot of Shermans. I think I think really they should go down. Add some anti-air too. I'd like that. Yeah, Midir, exactly. I don't know why people don't like them. I think aesthetically they're really nice. I like the challenges a lot. Where Steve the footage from? I'm not sure what you mean. But this footage is mine from old videos and just like playing for B-roll. Yeah, so it's everything in the background is from me. My back. Okay. What do you think about helicopter PvE game mode? I think the RP reward is still a bit too low, but it's pretty fun as like a relaxing thing to play. Like if you're just, you can kind of do it semi-mindlessly. So if you want to watch a movie or like talk with friends and do something in the background, it's pretty good for that. So yeah, I like it for what it is, and it offers that kind of less focused gameplay. Because like with Tank RB, you basically need to be constantly aware. But for a game mode like that, it's a bit more relaxed, and I think that's a good thing to have in the game. So yeah, I think the RP reward can go up a bit, but apart from that, I think it's good. Yesterday, playing with the 183 FE 4005 Besh, regardless to say, there was no more plane to speak of. It's very good. That's always satisfying. I have a piece of the FE 4005 from Bovington. I have a bit of the side skirt on my table in my apartment. Don't tell anyone. Yeah, there's also a picture of me in front of that, and I look very small in front of it because that tank is very big, and I'm not immensely tall. So I've got some. There's like a lot of underground Tank Fest pictures. They're pretty good. Do you know any good places to visit in Berlin? I'm not sure, really. I've never been. Apparently the art scene's pretty good. They've got a Dali museum over there. Go see the Dali museum. That's kind of nuts. Dali's pretty good. I like dream paintings and that kind of thing. That's really all I can say for it. I'm not really sure on the sites and that kind of thing. Bee roll? Yes. Bees can roll if they want to. I won't stop them. Hi Abigail, how are you? How was your Easter? YouTube is cheaping out? What does this mean? Usually, I mean, I try and read YouTube, but it's usually less polite than Twitch. How do you fight an A6M5 when you both start at the same speed and altitude? The answer would really depend on what you're playing. But usually, what I do in that situation, obviously depending on the vehicle, but you have one chance to head on. They usually don't commit to the head on. After that, they're obviously going to peel on you. And what you want from that is to get away, obviously. So dive, don't go too steep because the Zero can like maintain energy really well. If you go too steep, you'll lose too quickly. What you really want to do is bleed it. And the way you bleed it really is pull into its negative. The Zero doesn't roll immensely well, and it doesn't pull into the negative very well. So if you can kind of invert and pull to the zeros negative, it will bleed a lot more speed. Once you get some distance, because the 7/7s, not that great. 20s, they're okay if they land, but they're not the easiest to aim on the zero. So you need to basically bleed into separation, and then you can basically just, go up and down, and they likely won't hit you. And that's generally what I try to do if I have a zero behind me, but usually the main thing is just you don't want to be in that situation in the first place. If you can see that you're at the same altitude as one, just try and not let it get close to you. It's like, knife to a gunfight kind of thing. You want to keep your distance. So, the antithesis to that question is that the best answer is just to not be in a situation that allows for that situation to happen. And, keen vision is underrated in ARB. Yeah, like if you are caught out like that, that's what I would do anyway. Will the Etsy shop return soon? Maybe. I think I need like a helper for it. So maybe I can, I kind of want to start a shop front up somewhere in the UK so I have space to store everything. I might do that. Save enough to kind of get rent for like a few months. Then I can operate out of there. But I need someone to do it with me, I guess. Maybe in the future. We'll go from the War Thunder power couple to the vintage framed advert power couple. Let's go. Taking over the market. What I'm saying. How does crew training work, and how long will it take to master everything? Quite a while to get everything. Basically, when you play in matches, you get crew points for your crew, just depending on how well you do. Simply put, anyway. And then you can allocate them into different skills. There's some that are way more important than others. For me, at least, the one things you really want to improve on are the hard skills. And so that's things that you can't play around. So reload is a hard skill because, even if you're the best player in the world, you can't make your reload shorter. So getting your reload shortened is important. Targeting important, that basically increases your accuracy, kind of. Driving as well. And leadership. The commander's leadership skill is really important because that basically buffs every other skill in turn. As well, another thing that's quite good to do is that don't try and max everything out in one particular bar. Don't try and max out tank driving and then leave everything else. Passively increase everything. Because for some skills, the agility, is it agility? I think my brain's completely broken. Field repair and keen vision, they are modular. So the average skill of every crew member counts. So if you have 5 crew members, and you have one with full keen vision and the rest at 1, it's not going to be, that it's going to average out in the middle. So for those 3, you want to incrementally improve them. And that's really important. I think a lot of people miss that. So that's important to do. But yeah, focus on the hard skills and go from there, basically. That's what I would say. When are you making merch? I don't know if I can make my own merch. I don't really have enough of a personality for that, I think. Maybe. I'll think about it. What is this emote? Dwagon too shy? Why is Dwagon too shy, huh? Tell me. Should I make an espresso? I might do that. I think I need to at this stage. Vitality as well is important. But it depends, really. It is a very important skill, but it's a passive skill. In the sense that if you play well, it won't come into play. So, in the sense that the argument with the Vitality is that if you buff your reload all the way, you may never need the points you put into Vitality because you are killing people before they even hit you. So that's the thing to think about. But at the same time, you can't really say, just play perfectly. Don't get hit, smile. So Vitality is as well important for a lot of your crew members. And it's like keen vision. It's not modular, but if you increase it passively, it's going to help. But in terms of getting better, the things to rely on are driving, targeting, and reloading. But Vitality as well is important. Can't deny that at all. Hera, I'm pretty sure it's for the crew member. I don't think it's modular in the same way. No espresso, drink water. Maybe I could do both. Oxy plushie when? I don't know. Maybe. Someone wanted to make a body pillow of me, but I don't think they ever did. Like a month ago, somebody they were really, really polite about it. I don't know if it was a joke. I want to say it was probably like satire. But they said, like, they PM'd me and said, hello, would you be really upset if I drew fan art of you eating Sailor Moon? And I said, probably yes. I would prefer if you didn't do that. And they said, okay, I won't then. Thank you for your reply. I don't want that to be my legacy. Hair in my mouth. There's a lot of phrasing my brain is taking out of context. I am the patron saint of phrasing. So there's lots to have fun with there. But I will try and tone it down for you. What am I looking at? I want video, not tanks. Okay, planes time. Right. Just get the Oxy decal. Yeah, I mean, there is the Oxy decal I could put on stuff, but I don't know. I think the Oxy decal only works with context. I don't know if it would work on other things. There's some stuff to do. Yes, Meteor is right. Leadership is very important. Will there be more Twitch drops? Yes. Oxy plushies to ball the fur. We'll see, we'll see. 40? Yes. Uh-huh. You have a decal now? Since when? Yeah, it's you can find it if you look it up. It's on, like, if you look in the description of my most recent video, there's a link there. I won't post it here because that's kind of you know, it's kind of douchey. I don't want to do that. But yeah. It's there's a lot of meta aspects to that decal I like. And plus people can do fun stuff with it, and that's what I wanted. If people can do fun stuff with the decal, then it works. Where's the Sherman Dozer? In our hearts, in our minds, and maybe in our game in the future. I can't say. The Warpath raid? Unbelievable. Hello. Thank you very much. That's very sweet of you. Thank you for the raid. Very good to see you. That's a lot of viewers you're rocking there, my friend. Have you enjoyed your stream? That is the most important question. And thank you for hopping by. It's probably quite late for you now, right? What time is it over there? Yeah, thank you all the same. Hello, everybody. This is the official stream, believe it or not. We're talking about War Thunder with some footage in the background. But if you want to talk about other stuff too, I won't stop you. You can talk about whatever. There's no need to be hyper anal about it. We can do whatever we like, within reason, obviously, but mostly War Thunder. But all the same, very happy to have you here. Thank you very, very much. Nice to see you. Hello from the raid. Hello. Hi, hi, hi. Designator Baron, you did a thing. Colon greater than? Less than? I'm not sure. What was it? What's your opinion on 3.7 AirRB? Pretty good. There's a lot of really different vehicles around there, like very varied vehicles, lots of different playstyles, and it makes a lot of the matches quite dynamic, and I like that more. I think that's what I like about lower tier stuff. So I like that. I think it's a pretty good bracket to play. Absolutely. Have you ever played the RBT5? Yes, I have. It's really nice. I like it. It's difficult to kind of get into a situation where you can use the rockets, but it's really fun. It's really fun. Hello, Ginger Brave. How are you? Hi, hi, hi. Stream was epic. Mad raid from Futcher. Nice. And Rob49. Finished the event on the high and then some low tier fun tip. Very nice. That sounds great. I'm very glad you're enjoying the game. As long as you're enjoying the game, then I am happy. Yeah, thanks for ending off here. I will hopefully do good by your viewers. Hopefully I can be as entertaining as you. But yes, thank you. And get a good rest now. Or I'll be mad. I won't be mad. Maybe I will be. I'm fine. What about you? Doing okay. Doing okay. I'm glad to hear it. Is Naval good for SL? Yes, it's really good. Uh, work message. Is this a work message? Yes, it is. Okay, 1 second. I need to fix some later, but not now. It's technically my day off today. But what are we to do? What are we to do, huh? We'll see what that is. Anyway, there's noise outside. Is it something? There's no one else should be in the office. That's one of the developers is here. The developers are kind of nuts. They work very, very hard. Very, very hard. What is your Instagram name? I do have one, but I don't really use it. I used it to talk to one person who I no longer talk to. There's one picture of me on there, and I don't use it. I only really use Discord, and then like, I don't know, I have a Twitter, but I don't really use that. Although I'll talk to you there if you message me, I guess. What even is my Twitter? I think my Twitter is still not Oxy. Why have 100 people followed me? I've never posted anything. All it says on my Twitter is, I really don't like Twitter. That's it. And I think I followed Mike, and that was it. Although you can see Shark and Cat in the background. Yeah, I don't really use much social media. I'm not really, despite my job, I'm not a very kind of publicly outward person. I mean, I'll talk to anyone really, but I just don't really outwardly put myself out there. Although I am there, you know what I mean? Maybe I'm not making any sense. I'm operating on, you know, I wanted to make a phone shop joke, but I can't. I'm operating on very little sleep. Is War Thunder doing more model kits? I mean, maybe we could revitalize the partnership. Not sure. Maybe. It's certainly a possibility. All of the Twitter haters followed you there. Hopefully not. I'm yet to see them. Any tips for the Black Prince? Black Prince is difficult because you are so limited by your mobility that there's not really a huge amount you can do. Obviously, you want to keep angled, keep on the move, and I mean that's really it. It depends entirely on where you are. Obviously, maining the Sabo is more reliable, especially for up tiers, and keeping angled can throw off enemies a lot. Wiggle your turret around if you're being shot at. That works a lot too. And apart from that, really, it's just react. It's a very reactive vehicle, in that you're not really going to be, you know, really aggressive or anything because you're so limited by the mobility. The main thing is just to keep angled and keep moving the turret. That thing, the armor works if you stop making yourself an easy shot. And so keeping angle and keeping moving makes your weak points change a lot. So that's a really important thing to go for, I think, in terms of playing it. And that's what I would do. I mean, I haven't played it much recently. But, you know, maybe I'll play it again. 6.0 Britain is pretty okay. But that's, you know, it's kind of simple, the answer, I guess, but that's ultimately what I would do. Think Gaijin would ever bring back the German Sherman for a limited time? Yeah. Don't see why not. It's come back limited before with the prototype. I think it could come back again. This is the, gotta bring back the Blanky for a bit. I like it. I like it. Is it not? It is a bank holiday today, but I'm still, you know, there's always stuff to do, so I don't really have many other things to do. So I am here. Oh. Everywhere is closed in Ireland. Oh, were you here when I wrote that Irish thing on my hand? Guess not. I don't think anyone ever got that. Maybe someone did, I can't remember. Anyway, yes, yeah, everything is closed here today, apart from some bars, I think. But yeah. Majority is closed. I have questions for you. Any news to introduce an Indian tech tree to the game? I think India is probably quite a unlikely tech tree. In that, you know, there's other tech trees that would add more and could be better to implement to the game. So I don't think you know, you should expect India anytime soon, personally. Um, I might make a very quick espresso and come back and get another one of these. Uh, I will be very quick, hopefully. Please talk amongst yourselves, I guess. Don't be weird. I'll be watching. I won't be. I'll be very quick. I'll be like a minute, I guess. Just enjoy the French heavy fighters doing stuff in the background, and I will return very quickly. Yes, and also take these out as well. Okay, I'll be back. I'll speed run. Hello. I am back. I returned. I wasn't lying. I wouldn't do that. And I've got a very small, little, tiny espresso. What did I miss? Hopefully nothing spooky. Okay. Looks okay. Make your depresso espresso? Are you saying like my depresso is becoming espresso, or I'm using an espresso to escape the depresso? There's a lot of context here that I think I'm missing. What do you think? Oh, okay. That's some spice. Probably not spice, but you know, that's intense. I'm a fan of intense things. Champion and challenge pissing. That I mean, that sounds. I can't make that joke. um, maybe I don't know. Uh, thank you for the cats. I appreciate that. Appreciate that. Appreciate that. Where's the big cup? The big cup's in the dishwasher right now. No one turned it on over the weekend, so it's kind of forsaken right now. So I'm kind of operating on uh, like tiny baby cups at the moment. Uh, so maybe you can see it on Thursday. Maybe. We'll see. Browse Reddit, and if so, what are your favorite ones? I don't really use it much. There's like one that I'm on a lot on my alt account, I guess. I kind of use just to uh learn stuff and to meet some people, but I don't really use it too much. Just sort of, there's a couple of like meme ones that I follow sometimes. If I'm just like waiting for like a tram or something, I'll look at them, but I'm not really super involved with the whole thing. Um, what else do you play? I'll pretty much just, if I have someone that wants to play a game with me, I'll play that with them. I usually don't mind on that kind of thing, but I like playing short, kind of like indie games. So you things like Kentucky Route Zero, Night in the Woods, Metazione, Oxenfree, If Found, which is really good. What else is there? Probably some more that I can't think of. Probably, but games like that are good. Um, I like kind of short experiences like that. It's like books with extra steps, and those can be quite fun. But yeah, I'll pretty much just play anything if people want to play with me. Um, but on my own accord, it's like kind of chiller experiences, I guess. Um, maybe Kitten, yeah. I'm not sure really on the when it's coming back. But another thing I can inquire about. Ship me some coffee. I ran out and the store's closed. I'll see what I can do. There's some pretty good coffee we have here. We have a pretty good machine, which is good. Yes, good twice. Over good. Yes. I will. I'll try my best. Uh, my whole body shover. Shover? Shudder. Um, thanks for being here, Davis. Always nice to see you. And I'll see you later. Have a lovely day. Lovely day, lovely day. Why are the Argentine tanks in the German tech tree? Because those vehicles are kind of joint projects. And so they're joint from keep kicking stuff from Germany and Argentina, so they go in the German tree. You say the Hunter FJ9 is worth it? It was incredible when it, like back in the day when it came out. I haven't played it really since then, and I would feel like, I feel like my opinion on it is outdated, and I wouldn't want to, excuse me, I wouldn't want to say based on that. So, I really, really liked it, but I don't know how it performs now. In all honesty, I've not played it enough recently. Machine Comfy is an act of desperation, IMHO, but sometimes necessary. Yes, I agree. I mean, it works. Like the coffee here from the machine is actually nice. Like it can make lattes and stuff, which is pretty good. I like that. Yeah. Oh, I'm gonna be going insane later. I'm a scoot. Have some stuff I need to work on. Thanks for today. Happy Easter and good luck sorting out your frame store. Bye. Thank you for being here. I appreciate it. Hope the stuff you need to sort out is not spooky and it all goes well. Thank you. And see you soon. Baron, nothing I can really say on that. It's not my area, unfortunately. Just depends on if the team have the right data and if it well, assumedly, I mean, I know a lot of the performance issues were like the highest priority, so I wouldn't say there's much more time to wait for that to come out. Let's see. What is the most inaccurate gun in the game? Tanks or planes? I'll need to think about it. Streamlabs, stop. Come on, man. You don't gosh darn gotta tell people to clip stuff. If they want to clip stuff, they'll do it. That just seems disingenuous. Going to make myself a nice lunch. I haven't eaten yet. Fizzy, go for it. Nourish yourself. It is important. Glad to hear though. Glad to hear. Is there any plan to add in air refueling capability with a tanker or AWACS for support roles? I mean, the game doesn't really need that right now. It would be a bit redundant in how like top tier matches play. Maybe in the future, if the landscape of the game changes, we'll get something like that. But right now, I don't think it's something that would really have much place. Thoughts on the T55A? Really good at AO. I mean, you've got armor that protects against weak guns. You've got good reactivity, stabilizer, good rounds. Held back a bit by the reload. Armor's not reliable against like main guns. But for what it is, it's really workable. I think it's still great at AO. Really, really, really strong for AO. Yeah, well, switch between the APHE and the Dart depending on what round that you're on, BR that you're on, excuse me. And as long as you kind of have a parallel between that, you can do really well. It's a great tank. Go for it. I'm hungry as hell because I'm fasting. I kind of get you. Today's like a no food day, so coffee's good for that. Sorry for disrupting your flow there. Smallest cup I've seen. It doesn't help as well that I have very small hands, so it kind of doesn't work well. Doesn't work too well, but yeah, it's a small cup, small family cup. No food, capital D colon? Correct. What do you think about the T29? Great. The only like it's a good vehicle to play for SL, but not really as your like if you want to buy one premium, don't buy that because it's a tier 4. It can't actively research tier 6 effectively, and that does let it down in terms of like overall performance. So, but for SL, you've got a really good lineup. It's a great vehicle, even in up tiers, it works, and it's fun as well. It's a really fun area of the game to play, and I recommend playing it. It's good. But yeah, don't pick it as if you want to use it to get to the end line, but it's a really good tank, really really good tank, and I recommend it a lot, definitely. Um, Brother is also doing fasting due to some religious stuff. Understandable. Most important thing, make sure you stay healthy. Maybe. Uh, I just do lots of hula hooping and other exercises. So I'm pretty good on that front. Lots of walking too, so I'm kind of okay. Kind of okay there. Um, and lots of water as well. That's also very important. Um, what will Gaijin do about power creep? A very broad thing to say. Like, I'm not trying to say that to dissuade anything you're saying, but what areas are power crept to you personally? Because I think the answer and like talking about this will depend on where you're coming from. Because what you think might power crept is, I might not think it is, and vice versa. So, what do you think? Um, why is max vehicle research efficiency a good thing? It just punishes people who play low tier? No, it doesn't. I mean, you may look at it like that, but it's not the intention or anything really to do with how the system works. It's just so, people experience the entire game. And plus, if you just played tier 1 and got to tier 7, and, you'd have no clue how to play it. So, it's a kind of a necessary, well, if you think it's a bad thing, it's like a necessary bad thing, you need to play the rest of the game to get to the higher tiers, and then, you're missing out most of the content. And, there's not going to be sitting there, playing easy stuff for the entire game and then jumping up. It doesn't make sense. Um, it's not in any way like punishing at all, really. I can see where you're coming from, obviously, but I don't really agree that that's the perspective to take. I feel like top tier isn't as separated from the current meta as it should be. Sorry to keep going back and forth. Like top tier, what do you mean? Like what BRs are we looking at here? Because I think it kind of depends. Sorry to kind of ask you another question on top of that. Like, I mean, I don't want to be tedious, but I want to make sure that we can talk about this properly and not, miss out at all. Be cool to see the British FV 101 Scorpion in the game. Yep. Some more British light stuff would be great. I would be absolutely all for that. Definitely, definitely. How about the T30? T30 is pretty fun. The HE is really, really satisfying. It's just not really meta because, reload is really long. T29 is better. T34, excuse me, is better as well. It's fun if you have it, but I wouldn't like, buy it for its current price. It's what, like 180 something? Really expensive. I wouldn't buy it as like a premium to use to grind stuff unless you adore the BR to an unreasonable degree. I wouldn't really pick it up for the current price. Um, uh, Trying to read a YouTube thing. opinion on the British solid shot, because personally I'm really enjoying it, but there are times where it seems inconsistent. Yeah, the main thing to keep in mind with solid shot is the penetration threshold with it. So what I mean, uh, if you have the game open right now, I'll give you some time, like just to run through this. Maybe you know this already, so sorry if I'm being patronizing. I don't mean to. But if you have the game open right now, this is the best way to show it. Go to the protection analysis on the King Tiger and select the AP round on the T-34 Heavy. Because this is a good way to explain how this works. I'll give you a moment. Give you a moment. Just joined a game and forgot I covered my DB3B in pictures of Marge Simpson crumping. That's like absolutely based, I must say. That's you know, you're winning the game at that stage, and that just makes me think of like crimping from the Mighty Boosh. I miss the Mighty Boosh. Shame null fielding kind of sucks. Anyway, if you have it open, look at the protection analysis on the front plate. And if you look at it head on, angle it to the point where you get the yellow indicator. You may be able to pen. Set that up and put the round through. And when you get a penetration, you will notice that it doesn't do much damage. Because AP, to create spooling, needs enough residual energy to be able to generate shrapnel. So if you take the King Tiger again and you angle it upwards, so the angle normalizes into the front plate like that, and then fire it through, you will see that the round does a lot more damage. And so the main thing to keep in mind with AP is that you want to penetrate a weak area of the armor, because that's going to generate more spooling. So it's why on the T-34, you don't want to shoot the front plate of the KT, even though you can get through it, because it won't generate a lot of shrapnel. But if you shoot through the turret, you will have enough shrapnel in like residual energy to set off the back ammo rack most of the time. So just an example of that. But for the British as well, the main thing with AP to keep in mind is shoot at the weakest part of the armor that you can, because it will generate the most fragments, and that's the most important thing to keep in mind. And that goes for every AP round, basically. So for the British, and for consistency, that's what you need to keep in mind. Go for the weakest part of the armor that you can, unless it's like a really good shot, like the front plate of the IS-2, for example, and that really, really helps. Love the Mighty Boosh, it's so good. Absolutely. Soup, tasty soup, spicy, carrot and coriander, chili chowder. Yes, I remember that now. I like games, World War II Germany, spelt like Germa. Meta. Ah, man. Germa will never play War Thunder, and that makes me sad. I still sometimes have dreams about like hanging out with Germa. It's just nuts. Eyes. Jack, I answered this when you asked it on YouTube. I don't think it's inhaled some Mountain Dew. That ain't good, Chief. That sounds really bassy when I do that. Anyway, I don't think it's likely, because the way that top tier currently works, there's not really any reason to have mid-air refueling or AWACS. Maybe in the future when we get like if we get huge maps to play on, maybe then it will be something. But right now, I don't think the game really needs it and couldn't accommodate for it. But maybe in the future, you know. Germa the man mama, yes. Interesting. Yeah, like Germa is probably the best streamer. I would say he's the best streamer of all time, because he is constantly doing things that are new and just fun, and getting into situations and nailing them comedically every time. And he's honestly like inspiring to watch, like to be a content creator. Because I mean, obviously, like with how he is, he's like naturally gifted at it. Not everyone can kind of emulate that, but the way he carries situations is just admirable. Absolutely huge love for Germa always. Big loves, big ups. Big ups for Germa. Um, Gemma stream about having a talent show for who to replace him was the next. Yeah, that was incredible. Who else does that, man? Like, who else does things like that? That's why I love Gemma. And like, he makes them good. Like, if another creator did that, it might be like just kind of embarrassing. But he nailed it. It was amazing. He constantly does stuff like that, and I love what he does. I think it's really, really, really good. Um, the old top tier is in Leo, A1, A1, and MBT 70. I mean, those vehicles still work. Obviously, they're not as good as they were. So if you look at it by comparison of them being the top dogs to now being, you know, just a middle line vehicle, they will, by comparison, seem way worse. But you can still do work with them. Like the KBZ 70 is still really, really good. Leopard A1A1, like a little bit less so. But the gun still works. Armor obviously is not going to be any anything anyway, but I think those vehicles are fine and they work well as like supplementary vehicles. They're not really that strong anymore, and so maining them is not really the intention. And so I don't know, like I mean, they're only power crept in the sense that they are now no longer at the top. So I'm not particularly sure on that one. I think for me, the only area of the game, excuse me, that's power crept is like the end of the armor meta and the start of like the technology meta. So like 7.7 to 8.3, in that the jump from the shift in armor balance to stabilizers, armor negating rounds, and thermals is like 1 or 2 BR jumps, and that's the only area to me that I think needs something, because it shifts too quickly, and there should be some intermediary there. Like the Cold War, like the late 50s, had some nuts prototypes or just like vehicle concepts. Add those in. That's what I would do. Things that don't really have stabilizers, or you know, maybe not. Well, don't have all three basically. That's what I would do. Ultimately, anyway. So add some kind of buffer around that battle rating, and just go from there. That's what I would kind of do for Well, you know what I mean. I think my brain broke. Why did my brain break? Did something happen that I didn't notice subconsciously? Hello, Mockingway. That's a very sweet emote you have. I like it. How are you? Um, yes. Okay. My eyes are really going right now. Not good. Paper tanks sounds good. I don't know if there's still loads of tanks that we can add that aren't paper. And I don't think, you know, that's really on the cards. But prototypes and things along the scale like the Term 3, that's what I'd like to see. Things that are kind of a bit, you know, like just that can fill that gap. I think the more vehicles there, the better. And personally, I think that's what should be done, but you know, it's not for me to say. I'm fine. How about you? That's a long fine. Sure. I'm doing okay. I'm very tired though. And I can't see very well out of this eye right now. But I'm doing okay. Thank you for asking. As long as you're really fine. You're watching. Term 3 is awesome. Yeah, like it's a really fun vehicle. I like it a lot. It combines a lot of really interesting things while at the same time being so weak that it can never really be like overpowered or anything. I think it's just really fun. It looks cool too. I think aesthetics kind of play a passive role in vehicles like that, and I think it kind of looks weird. I like that. I like things that don't really look perfect. I don't like perfect things, I guess. I like things that are kind of in between. Just, you know, they're doing their own thing. I like that a lot. The Term 3 is one of them. A weird way of wording that. What's something stuck in your head next to Dwagon? I think Dwagon is the only thing stuck in my head right now. I don't know if there's anything else, but feel free to try and, you know, insert something else in there. How about the ZSU 57-2? In what context? How about it what? I'm playing War Thunder and I'm a beginner, of course. I'm not fine. I'm sure you're better than you think. Is there any area that you would like some slight help with? That's what I'm here for, kinda. Yes, if I can help in any way, I would be happy for that. My brain gave up again. Egg? Well, Egg's always, you know, Egg's basically part of my personality at this point. Do you have a go-to vehicle for laughs and fun? People always take this out of context, but I don't really play vehicles for fun. People think me saying that means that I don't like the game or don't think it's fun. I love the game. I've been playing it for 10 years this year. But yeah. I play stuff to spade it, to get camos for it, to get like Mark of Distinction on it, but it's a premium. I like achieving stuff. And if I play like a vehicle I like over and over again, I'm not really achieving anything with it. So I just play stuff to upgrade it, unless I'm playing with other people, in which case I'll play what they're playing. But no one really asks me to play, so I don't. Mike Ain here. Yeah, well, I mean, the egg thing came from me initially. Mike put it on the board over there. We're back in the room. Hi. Oxy OnlyFans when? Can't say that. I'll just leave that as ambiguous. Let's do that instead. Just aggro, and that's my biggest problem. That's something I've got to work on that. Yeah, the most important thing for this game is map knowledge. If you know where to put your vehicle, all the other skills will just fall into place. And so finding good spots is the main thing. And if you can do that, you'll really be on your way to getting better, because knowing where to shoot, knowing how to angle, that kind of thing, those are kind of supplementary to being in a good position. And so that's what I would really learn. So if you're struggling to do that on your own, I'd probably like play with people who can show you some good spots and kind of shadow them a little bit. And then so when you're not playing with them, you know where to go. That's what I would do. What does Mark of Distinction do? It's only on premiums, and it lets you have 4 decal slots, even if you don't have premium. But it doesn't really do much else apart from that. Where's the AA gone on the test drive map? I actually don't know. I noticed that. I guess it was sort of just redundant. But yeah, I'm not sure why it's not there. Chloe is in the chat. Hi, how are you? Any other anime that recently caught your attention as much as Wonder Egg? Not really in the same vein. I watched the Memories trio of films. I really liked that. Magnetic Rose combined like so many aspects of sci-fi that I really like, and that was really, really good. The second one was like a bit silly, but what I loved about the second one in that series is that it was a really stupid premise that they took completely seriously. And I thought that was great. But yeah, Magnetic Rose by it's by the guy that made Akira or directed Akira, I think. Really, really good. You should watch that. It's like 44 minutes long. Such a good concept. Hello, Pink. Hi, how are you? Think Gaijin will hire experienced players as developers, maybe for game modes? No. It's a thing that a lot of people don't like to hear, but being an experienced player has nothing to do with being a good developer or have a good sense of, well, game sense, ultimately. Because there are so many aspects of the game that you don't think of. And so, the best way of putting it is that players should find problems and not solutions. And that kind of is universal for everything in this sphere, really. And I think good players are not really in a position to be able to do that. They can have good ideas, sure, but like not for developing or even for game modes and that kind of thing. Because there's just so much data that's you need to make decisions like that, and it's a lot of people aren't privy to it. And for this game, like there are game modes that seem cool on paper, like an attack and defend game mode, but it wouldn't really work in this game. And yeah, there's so much to it. And being on this side of the fence, I can have a new appreciation for that. Absolutely. Kopsi, hello, Mr. Yan. Will there be gaming later today? Analysts say the chances are likely. Did you check the I PM'd you on the work account at like 4 a.m. about an issue that we have? Remind me tomorrow because we need to sort that out with those with Mr. Ivan. Which you'll do. Yes, I think I'll be back late in the evening. Hopefully not too late, and then we can do some gaming if you like. How you doing though? Likely. Let's go. I will stare tomorrow. Excellent. Love to see it. Hello, Certified Evil. Hello. Players have a lot of bias. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of players at this game who I know are really good, but they're good to the point where they lose perspective on everything. It's difficult. I mean, even in this game, the people who use like things like the Reddit or whatever, they're usually like an echo chamber for ideas. And it's such a tiny group of the player base that use that site. And so a lot of active players may think that, the vast majority of people think a certain way, and they forget about like, the 94% of people that will never even engage. So there's so much more to it. And, the best way to do it is to be data informed. And if you don't have that, you can make choices, decisions, and have ideas and that kind of thing. But they're not in the, they're never going to be as good as they could be if you are in touch with everything. It's a difficult thing to talk about because it's basically saying like, you're not informed enough to make decisions, and we're not going to tell you the things to inform you. Like I can appreciate that's like a bad perspective to be like pushed into, but it's just with internal data and that kind of thing. It's tricky to share in all manner of ways. So, the best you can do really is point out. Yeah, actually, excuse me, Mr. Cops. Why did I call you Cops? If you go into the promo chat, tag the man and give him an example. It's the same with every code, I think. The same issue it's having with everyone. If you can ask him about it and get an answer, if we can get that fixed for tomorrow, that'll be really good. I was going to do it today as well, but I woke up and then immediately came here, so I haven't had time. But if you can do that, I would really appreciate it. That'd be great. Yes. Here is my bias buff, my dear Churchill. The Churchill's probably one of my favorite vehicles of all time. I love it very much. So, yes, you are now my friend. Sorry. Churchill's great. All of them. Will there be a better system that players can give feedback? What do you mean a better system? Because part of my job is collecting and forwarding feedback, and I forward all of the good feedback I find. It's not an issue, honestly, I think, of there being a better system for feedback. It's that there's not really, I think players don't like not having someone say that their feedback's been looked at, and that's fair, but at the same time, I know how busy the developers are. For example, it's a bank holiday, and we have developers working over there because they have stuff to do. They're not made to do it; they just do it because they want to do it. And there's always a lot to do, and they can't really be in a position to respond to every piece of feedback. And I have people come in here a lot of the time and say things like, like, guys, you're not listening to my feedback because they didn't implement the thing I suggested. And, in the kindest way I can put it, not all feedback is equal. You can have an idea that's not very good. And if I see someone having an idea and I say, hello, people want this, that's part of my job, I do that. We have internal feedback, discussion channels, documents, everything. And if they have valid reasons for saying, we don't want to do this, then that's it. And the best thing I can say is just if what you suggest isn't implemented, it doesn't mean that it's ignored. It just means that it's not a fit for the game. And I think a lot of people don't really click with that. You know what I mean? Mic a little louder, please. It can't turn up anymore. I just speak very softly. That's just me, unfortunately. What color are your eyes? My eyes are green. I don't know if you can see, but they're kind of jade. Like dark green, my eyes. Which is quite odd because my parents have brown eyes and blue eyes. And I think getting green out of that's quite uncommon. But yes, my eyes are green. Yes, I love the Churchills. They're very, very good. I'll play Churchill with you anytime. There's a BF-109 G2 German. Yes, it's hidden. It's never coming back, really, because that vehicle is now a premium in the Italian tree. That was an old pack vehicle for Germany, the G2 Romania. And now it's in the Italian tree, so it's very, very unlikely to see it again, I think. Oh, was there a joke book redeem? Hello. Right, so we have a joke book from the 80s from Canada by Jovial Bob Stein, who did Goosebumps. The thing is, I can't make this funny. Like, usually you can riff on jokes, but I can't do it here because there's no one to bounce off of. These jokes are awful. It's like, I always say that the vibe of this joke book is like reading, it's like watching a Pilot Red Sun video. And, yeah, this is, it's kind of nuts. What's this gameplay in the background? It's just footage that I collected a while ago. Right, where were we? I think we're here. Well, how did you do on that math test yesterday? I only got one problem wrong. That's great. How many problems were there? 20. So you got 19 out of 20 right? No, I couldn't do the other 19. This man wrote Goosebumps. You see what I mean? Like, it's not funny to the point where, like, I can't, there's nothing here. It's like the comedic equivalent of, like, the sidewalk, you know? It's just kind of there and you can't do anything with it, but just kind of walk on it, you know? It's this, all this is. This next chapter is called Mad Music. This is by Richard and Fran. Was that you singing as I came in? Yes, I was killing time before my singing lesson. Well, you're sure using the right weapon. That's kind of a joke, though. That's kind of okay. It's garbage, but it's kind of okay. But you see what I mean? There's nothing to this. It's just words in order. Turns out you can just put words in any order you like. Frank says, I wish you'd only sing Christmas carols. Megan says, why? Because then you'd only have to sing once a year. This book is made for children. I get that. But this is almost like reverse meta. And it's like, the point of this is like, read 101 wacky kid jokes and find out just how funny kids can be. It's like he was passively dissing kids into saying like, maybe this is a book for adults and it's like trying to get kids to seem stupid, which obviously, but not even, do you know what I mean? Like there's nothing here, man. Well, where's your new guitar? Oh, I had to throw it away. You threw it away? Why? It had a hole in the middle. Not a joke, is it? If you buy it, like, there's so much to unpack there, man. I don't need to do that. There's just, I don't know why he wrote this. Because he's not a garbage writer. He knows that this is not, I don't understand. I don't get it. I don't get it. I don't get it. I don't get it. And we're back in the room. Hi. What did I miss? Looking at that. Canada is not a real country? I mean, I don't know about that. I had a friend in Canada that I can never meet. Kind of sucks. I wonder what he's up to now. Gonna go pike fishing. Always remember that. Pike are nuts to fish for. Anyway, thanks for redeeming that. You're great. So bad, yes. Ugh. Okay. Let me see what's on YouTube. Will the B2 Spirit be added to War Thunder? Probably not. And if it is going to be added, that's like a long way off, but I think it's quite unlikely, ultimately. Best nation for naval? America destroyers are incredible, really. And in terms of battleships and like heavy stuff, Japan's great. Germany with the Scharnhorst is really nice. And Russia as well are pretty okay. But I haven't played them really enough recently, so I'm not completely sold on those. But Japan for like heavy stuff is what I've enjoyed the most, and America for destroyers because their destroyers are insane, really. I'm reading from a joke book. Well, I was reading from a joke book. I'm also reading from Twitch and YouTube. I have both chats in a line, so I'm reading both here. Green Eyes, soft spoken. Oxy is a perfect trad wife. I don't know if it works like that, but sure. Great. Kind of threw me a bit. If I team kill someone that was trying to team kill me, does that make me good or still a team killer? Well, it's kind of all inclusive. You're a team killer objectively, but if you're doing it for like a self-defense reason in the game, then sure, like no one's going to bean you for that. Some feedback on the current event from the perspective of a newer player. It's a complete non-starter for me. I'm not to the point of having rank 3 lineup. Do the children event battles, but that gets monotonous. And here's the important bit, it does absolutely nothing to advance my progress in the same. Well, I mean, it's optional, you know? It's not... It's one of those things where you can get quite an impressive thing by trading in time. And, you know, it can't be universally achievable, otherwise there's no point of having it as an event, really. I mean, it's difficult to get all of the good stuff from it. That's kind of the point of having a limited event. But it's not for everyone. You need to be playing the game for a while to be able to get to it. And the top prizes are top tier vehicles. And if you only have rank 3, then and you're jumping right to top tier, that's not that great. So it's sort of intended for people who have that area of the game anyway. It's up to you. I mean, no one's forcing you to play it. You can get some little stuff if you play it on and off. If you play more than usual but still relatively casually, you can get one of the lower tier rewards. And for the tier, I think that's pretty fine. Virgin should add marks of distinction on vehicle barrels if they reach certain thresholds. Stay tuned. Something like that. Is the A10 going to receive a promotion to 10.3? Depends how it works. If majority of instances where it's being used are successful, then sure. If the majority are negative, then maybe not. My eyes are really going a bit here. Cult. Struggling to see. Okay, yo, bestcams.fun, hot girls and boys 18 plus video chat is back in the chat. Let's go. Every time best cams, I ask you what your favorite tank is and you don't tell me and it makes me actually miserable. So what's your favorite tank? I will go to your website. I will go to your website right now. Tell me what your favorite tank is. I'm not even japing. Do it. Come on, coward. Waiting for you. Are you hiring data engineers? We've got a pretty strong staff in that field right now. Is the new patch super duper or just meh? Can't tell you. Cannot tell you. Favorite tank is the Comet one. I love the Comet one. Comet one is great. I still need that deep purple skin for it. A credit crate's still dropping. I think they stopped today. I think. I'm sort of a bit out of the loop on it, so I'm not completely sure, but I'm pretty sure they're not. They are kind of out of it now. Gonna head out now. Have a good day, night. Have a good day, caveman, if you're still here. Thank you, thank you. How you doing? Might have said a dozen times already. I just want to thank you for making this game less frustrating to play. I've seen the positive effect on my mind while playing the game after watching your videos. It's not only make the game more fun, but they also lift people's... Oh, thank you. That's honestly really, really nice. I appreciate that a lot. I need to get better at making videos. I really do. Because they're slow, and there's still so much more I can do with them. But I really do appreciate it. Thank you. I will do my best to keep making them and keep making them better. I just want to be able to make them more regularly. But yeah, I really do appreciate it though. And you know, it's comments like that make me like making stuff. You know, if people like them, then that's the goal. Really, that's what I want from it. So I really do appreciate that. Thank you very much. I'm glad you like them. Do you think a paint feature allowing players to paint parts of their vehicles specific colors would be a viable addition? Pretty fun to dress my Leopard 2 in Nerf orange and blue. I don't think that kind of thing is possible. It's probably just going to be skins. Like maybe in the future there'll be more customization options. I'm not sure. But yeah, that's not something that's on the cards, I think. Imagine what the very mature people of this game community will do with that. No, this is not pre-recorded. Just the gameplay footage is, you know, not happening live. To have a YouTube channel, but how do I get creator? You need to meet the requirements which are on the website. Yeah. If you go to the War Thunder Partnership page, you can see it all there, get all the details, and if you end up meeting them, you can apply. We can let you in if you meet them. I can't allow that message according to AutoMod, apparently. And if I accept it, then I allow you to say I hate women. Which, you know, in the context, go nuts. But I can't press allow on that. I'll get, you know, Kotaku'd. Wakes. You're right, Dwagon. I agree. I agree. How to play the Panzer IV on urban maps? Well, the main thing really is that you can't overextend because that thing's armor is only really strong from the front. If you angle slightly or there's an enemy even slightly at your side, you know, your defensive attributes are gone really. So you need to maintain, you know, distance and maintain the frontal aspect ratio because those vehicles are only really strong directly from the front, like a very like shallow angle. And so on urban maps, you either want to stick with your team and you want to stick to the linear sight line, so you don't really want to be pushing to a point where enemies can come from an angle or from your side. From the front is the best way to go, and that's really the main thing to keep in mind with it. But there's you know, you can play some lighter vehicles from Germany on those maps because the Panzer IVs are not exactly they don't exactly excel. But you know, if you click fast, then they're going to be okay. But yeah, just keep in mind that like main thing, it's like a mindset. Just try and keep in mind that you can't well, it's a good way of wording it. My brain's giving up a bit. I need to sleep. Just try and, in your head, position yourself so that the bulk of enemies are in front of you at like an acute angle. And that's the best way to keep alive, or stay alive, really. Obviously, it's easy to say that, less easy to implement it. But if you can kind of have that in mind, it will kind of passively help you position better. Good night, Pershing. Have a good sleep. I remember when Twitch would allow you to say that about men. I already answered that with the kill marks on the barrels and stuff. Wait and see. Maybe in the future there'll be something like that. Maybe not that specifically, but maybe something along those lines. Do you pass the vibe check? I don't know what that is. There'll be option to turn bushes off. Sorry if you hear the siren. Okay. Probably not. Yeah, I don't think so. I mean, I don't know, honestly, but I think it's... Hang on. Let me put another video on. I think it's probably unlikely at this stage. That one doesn't work. What about... Oh, there we go. Are you in Germany? Yes, I am. Not sure what this means. Started grinding USA tanks and having fun. Very good. They are really nice. America is one of the best trees for tanks, really. Like their early tanks with a short stabilizer. It's really, really good. Those stabilizers let you basically hit an enemy like faster than they can hit you. Well, you can shoot an enemy accurately faster than them almost every time if you're meeting on the move, and that's such a good advantage. I love the Shermans for that. America's good. America's a really good tree. How to play Object 120. Basically, I mean, it's very map dependent. There are some maps where you really won't get much out of it, but the further away you are, the better, really. There's no advantage at all that you get from being at close range. Long range, you're harder to hit because, harder to range you in. You can still aim really easily. The dart and the heat round are both really good. The heat's actually deceptively good with how much damage it can do. So the main thing really is just staying as far back as you can. You can knock stuff out easily, really, really, really easily at range. And at close range, you can do the same thing, except you're weaker. So there's no advantage that you really get from playing there. So stick far back. That's the main thing. Do you enjoy theming your lineups? In what sense? In what sense theming? The zoom is either the zoom of the actual gun sight potential, or it's like a base zoom. So I can't remember what the stock zoom is, but for tanks that don't really have a scope, like a zoom scope, it's like a stock zoom in and zoom out. Just so you know, the game is more playable. But yeah, for tanks that had the actual zoom sight, then they actually have that sight. When flying, do you prefer having traces or stealth? Stealth. Stealth kind of... It gives you like an extra half a second to aim at somebody before before they can react to you in some instances, and that second is usually enough to knock them out. So I like that a lot. Stealth is usually what I go for if possible, unless the belt's not very good. So yeah, I think stealth gives you the most advantage once you kind of get the hang of the gun that you're using, and that's what I usually stick with. Theming historically. Not really. I mostly just do it do it in such a way that gives me the most potential to work in the battle. So yeah, I don't really do that, but it could be fun. Maybe like for some events as well, that could be good. Oh, nice idea. The pages of history are going to be a permanent thing. I really like them. Give you something to grind out and play Forgotten Vehicles. Yeah, I really like that too. It's a really good system. I'm hoping we see more of it, maybe with some more rewards as well. That could be fun. Yeah, I think it's great. And I think we'll probably be seeing more too, whenever possible. Device on the MiG-3. Main thing is your climb rate. You can devastate almost anything with that climb rate of the tier. That's kind of what I, well, play around that basically. You don't have the best mobility, you compress quite bad, but you've got really good guns. The cement core round on that 50 cal that you get with the MiG-3 is really, really good. That can knock pilots out and set engines on fire really, really easily. So I would use the ground target belt for those 50 cals and like really devastate with your climb rate. You can fly straight up as you take off, a good angle, and you can outclimb almost everything. And from there, you can kind of, you know, target opportunity. So focus on the climb rate, manage your speed, because if you dive too quickly, you will rip or you won't be able to pull out. And use the ground target belt. That's what I would say for that one. Do you cut your hair or does it just not grow any longer? It does grow longer, but I am getting a haircut tomorrow. I'm being basically made to, kind of. Not really. I'm not sure what to do yet. I'm thinking of getting this part kind of not like shaved, but like shortened. So I can like manage like a style better. I'm not sure yet. We'll have to see. I don't like change. I simultaneously wish for change. Duality of common life. Anyway, yeah. So probably Thursday you'll see some more. Well, I'll probably look a bit different. I'm not sure. Hello, Optimus. Optimus? Can't even speak. Optimus Bananas. Hi, hi, hi. Yeah, Dwagon, kind of like a little. There's a picture that I'm going to show. I can't really describe exactly what I mean, but it's kind of like that. It's not like a complete fade because I don't want to have it like super short. But having it like much shorter than I can't speak. Having it much shorter than my normal length because like kind of long. Just so I can style it nicer because I can't really do that right now. It's just a bit difficult. But yeah, like it's kind of like that Dragon, but it's a yeah, kind of. It's hard to describe without like showing you a picture, but yeah, pretty much. How do I use the Sherman's armor? It basically just needs to angle with it, angle and keep on the move. Yeah, and can bait shots around corners with it pretty well. Yeah, always just angle and keep driving. That makes your weak spots change, and you know, more chance for someone to miss a shot. It's flew for them, yeah. It's very very fluffy, and it's very very soft as well. Yeah, very fluffy. You sent me the email telling me to put the verification on my channel. Yes, we did. And then you applied again, which was strange. I wasn't really sure what that was about. Does angling the tiger actually work, or is it just a meme? Because I always get killed anyway. Yeah, you need to, obviously there's a perfect middle ground with the angle. But the main thing really is it's not just angling, it's driving. Because armor works based on a window of reaction time, and heavy tanks have their value in having giving the enemy a longer reaction time to shoot at you. They need to find your weak spots. If you're a tiger flat on, they don't need to aim much. Straight for the front plate, they'll go right through. If you're a tiger that's angled and front on, they're going to go right through again. But if you're a tiger that's angled and moving, it means your weak spots are changing. You know, are they going to shoot for the corner of the front plate? Are they going to shoot for the lower side? Are they going to shoot for the turret? Are they going to shoot for the cupola? Are they going to shoot for the barrel? People are going to be thinking about all the best spots to shoot you. And because of how you're moving, the best spot will keep changing. And that will, you know, give them less time to accurately fire at you to the point where they'll either rush a shot and bounce or take too long and you can fire back. And that's what makes the Tiger's armor work. You need to keep on the move to make it work effectively. If you stay still, it's going to be better, but not as effective. Just keep angled and keep moving. That's the main thing with the tiger. Use the wiggle. Yes, for the turret, definitely. How do you get the cool red decal? I'm not sure which one you mean. Can you describe it a bit? Good morning, angels. How are you? Tell me, tell me, tell me. King Tiger for the turret wiggle. The regular Tiger, you can kind of do it, but there's less reason to. Um, Thoughts on the Electo Mark 1? I don't think it's going to be that great in its current state, just because the damage output of the gun does not seem very good. Weak armor, poor mobility, long reload, weak performance. It kind of ticks all the boxes of being a mediocre vehicle. If the performance of the gun gets improved, I think it's going to be pretty enjoyable. But yeah, I don't really oh, 1 second. I don't really see it being amazing. It's considered. I must see this is being dealt with. It is not. Crying in the club right now. I went to a club once, and I just sort of sat there in the corner and didn't do anything. Not really my vibe. I much prefer just hanging out somewhere inside. Someone. Okay, cool. Yes, it is Mountain Dew with Oxy today. Not wrong. Everything's closed, so I couldn't get any milk, which is a shame. Sad face, sad face. Going with World War mode or introduce a new game mode? There'll probably be another one at some point. I don't know if and when. There's a. I mean, game modes for this game, they're less. Well, they're harder than people think. Like everyone wants an attack and defend game mode, but for this, it wouldn't really work. And it makes it difficult. I think the best we could really do is have some like events with set lineups, or maybe like excuse me, like a TD thing could maybe work, but then again, it doesn't really do much. That's basically just what we have now, but with less steps. So I don't know. It's difficult. What is a good tank to be versatile with? The Shermans. The Shermans are peak versatility. You can do basically anything with them, but you need to be kind of careful with how you position yourself. Yeah, I would honestly easily pick the Shermans. They're really, really good. Do you recommend a Cobra King playstyle? What I would recommend, because right now I'm a bit sleepy and I probably won't have the best words, is if you go to my YouTube and you look at the America Tier 3 video, if you watch the segment on the Jumbo, it's like 10 minutes long. It's kind of like, it's a long thing. But that will probably give you the best rundown that I could give you personally. And I think you'd get a better answer from watching that than me trying to like haphazardly describe it now. So I would do that if I were you. If you have the time, obviously, like, don't watch my video because I'm telling you to. Like only if you want to. But I think that will be the best way to get the to get information. Why do Israeli Shermans have no stabilizers in game? I will imagine because the 100 couldn't support the gyro. I don't know. They did have Shermans with the stabilizer, but they are the 76 versions, which we don't have. I don't believe the ones they have in game right now could use stabilizers. Will YAL ever bring back the rush type game mode that YAL removed years ago? It's still in the game. I had a couple yesterday. They're just not as common. Let's see. What is egg? Egg is many things, depending on your perspective, I suppose. What is it to you? What do you think? Oxy, I have the perfect anime for you. It's called Boku no Piku. Try harder. Uh, the egg came from the first stream we had from me because I've never eaten an egg and people really liked that, so they just kept talking about eggs the whole time. And that's kind of where we're at. And that's where the egg thing came from. And then it became some other things as well. We don't talk about those unless we do. Um. Uh. You eat an egg yet? Nope. Have not eaten an egg. Probably won't for a while. Excellent. Ha 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 ha. Ha 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 ha. Shepherd tone laugh. Yes, it's sort of ingrained in like Twitch lore. Eat a friggin' egg. Not gonna happen. Not gonna happen, Chief. Ate an egg this morning. Interesting, interesting. Write that down, write that down. Consume an egg live? I don't think I'll do that. Maybe for like a really... Maybe for like a special thing. But like, I just... Man, like... I don't trust how they move. That was the main thing. When I was younger, my dad had one in a pan. He was moving it around. I just thought... I don't like the movements. I don't trust it. So ever since then, never had an egg. Not a fan. I just do not trust it. Twitch is trying to get Oxy to say UWU and egg. Yes, basically. Went to church for Easter Vigil, but it was nothing like Midnight Mass. Big disappointment. Exactly, man. Like, if you're not, you know, just, you know, getting your blood sucked out, is it really Mass? Shaking my head. The egg costume for that very old Gemma video. We tried to find an egg costume, but I couldn't find one. I'd like one though. It always reminds me of that part in Over the Garden Wall, where they're like doing the Halloween costumes, and there's like the girl dressed as an egg, and that's very funny. I didn't make it seem funny, but it is. Have you ever eaten pancakes before? Yes. And no one's guessed, Daniel. No, not right anyway. Break is in the game already. I had a couple of breaks yesterday and a lot the day before, actually. They're not as common because people didn't like them as much, but they are still definitely there. Can't even say. I will donate $200 on Switch if you say UWU. Nah. I don't work like that. Might be good to have an ammo count and reload action for machine guns on ground vehicles. I think the only reason it doesn't right now is because it can clutter things. There's not really any good place in the UI to have it. And yeah, it would be nice to know. But yeah, I mean, it's difficult to kind of have that somewhere that would stay thematic. But yeah, I mean, I can see that being something that would be better to have rather than not have, even if it's optional to see. Sherman question mark? Yes. Sane Sherman gameplay? Smile. Sorry to break it to you, but there are eggs and pancakes. Yeah, there's eggs and lots of stuff. I've eaten like things with egg in them, obviously. I just haven't eaten an egg on its own. I think Oxy's only been playing for 11 hours and 13 minutes. That good that spaded all the vehicles. The Chuck Norris of War Thunder. I don't know about that. Will there be any Polish vehicles added anytime soon? Maybe. I don't know. It's certainly possible, but I can't say for sure. Yes, this is my background gameplay. It is from me. Hello, hello. Fishman's soon, hopefully. It's gonna be like a shorter one. Like, it's not gonna be the tier 6 video. It'll be like a little thing. But I can't do voiceover in the office right now because it doesn't. The system I use doesn't pick up Audacity, which is what I usually use, and I don't want to like mess with it because it's not. I didn't set it up, so I can't record right now. When I can, I will be making the next video eventually. Egg is an organic ping pong ball. I mean, yeah, if you're brave, I can respect that. I downloaded the Steam version 4K texture. Yeah, they should be automatically in if you download them and have them like ticked as like the DLC thing. Yeah, should be on there. Is egg in German? I know. One of the only German words I know. Have the supply crate stop now? I think so, yep. Yeah, but I haven't been playing today, so I'm not ultimately sure, but I think so. What are your PC specs? I don't know. Kind of terrifies me. I don't like going in like close to my PC. Spooky, dude. Spook. What time is it? 5? How long have we been going for? Good few hours. May do half an hour more. We'll see. What squadron vehicles should I research? Well, really, it just depends what you want to play. Up to you. There are some that are good, some that are a little less impressive. Tanks are usually pretty good. Planes are usually pretty good. It just depends on what you want, like what you're going for, what you're getting it for. Excuse me. So yeah, kind of up to you, I think. I would, I don't want to convince you to play something you kind of don't want to play. So yeah, like, what are you more interested in? Maybe we can streamline a little bit. How many hours does it take to grind the US tech tree? I mean, it depends entirely on your performance, really. That's like the baseline to the question. It's just like how well you're playing, like what vehicles you're using, what you're researching. But ultimately, it's on you. Like a player who's making like a Smurf account probably get there very, very quickly. Someone who's never played any game like this before is gonna struggle a bit. Is it worth getting premium to grind? Premium account is the best thing to buy universally for progressing because it's universal. Like one premium can only research one branch of one nation, one BR above its own BR, well, one rank above its own rank, excuse me. And that's very, very limited, but premium account lets you research every single thing in the game faster. And that's the best, ultimately, so go for that, yep. That's the best answer. You get any rare vehicles for being an engaged employee? Don't. I had all the vehicles, like all the rare stuff before joining, because I've just been playing for a very long time. There's one plane that you get, which is like the staff plane, which is like a lag version that only staff can get. But yeah, there's nothing really. You can't just, get whatever you like. Smurf account is just making a new account, basically. Like an alt account. How long did it take you to grind your first tech tree? This was like 10 years ago, back when there was like a 20 tier system, so I can't remember. It's like I started playing this game on a laptop that could not run historical battles. It could only run arcade. Because there were some RB maps that crashed it. I was playing on a laptop that could only get like 17 FPS in arcade, and I got to the Meteor and the Vampire like that. That was kind of fun. Yeah, Dwagon, you're right. There's not really any reason at all to do it. Unless, like, you just want to for whatever reason. But yeah, for a game like this, there's basically no point. You're right. I agree. There's not really any point to a Smurf account, Jaron. um, it's just, if you want to do it, you can, but there's not really much point for a game like this. Like, as Dwagon said, they're completely right. There's not really much need. Only like if you want to challenge yourself or like see how far you can get in 24 hours or something, there's not really much point. How'd you not die to fighters as Italian open top TDs and light tanks and AB? I can't really give you an answer for that because there isn't one. If a player knows what they're doing and gets in a fighter, they will go for you every time. And so all you can do is put yourself around vertical cover. Like strafe around a building or something, and that's really all you can do. There's not much in arcade to counter from that. So those vehicles do suffer a bit. It's why like the Hellcat is 4-7 in arcade and 5-7 in RB. It's like it's 4-7 in arcade for a reason. Not just from fighters, but it's part of it. So yeah, I unfortunately can't really give you a meaningful answer on that one. Ugh. I need to be squeezed. Feels nice right now. That would feel nice right now, rather. How the hell can you see those tanks at all from far? It's just a lot of this game with spotting is pattern recognition and movement. Like there are shapes that do not appear in this game like regularly. And a lot of it is like I need to reword all of this. It's knowing where vehicles are most likely going to be and knowing what a vehicle in that space looks like. And so, because I played this game and the maps a lot, I know what parts of the map to look for, and I know what looks irregular there. So things like that just kind of stick out to me. Like I don't know, like some people were saying like it might because I have synesthesia. Like the way I see things is a bit different from people. And so I think that does play a bit of a part of it, but a lot of it is just pattern recognition and knowing what tanks look like. It's why tanks like the Scorpion, like ZIS-30 and ASU work so well, because they don't really look like tanks, so you can put them in areas that tanks usually can't be in. And it's why they kind of circumvent regular positioning, and that's kind of interesting, I think. So yeah, a lot of it is just knowing where to look and what to look for. Oh, thank you for the hug, Dragon. I would take a hug from you anytime. About synesthesia? It's basically the way you perceive information is stimulated by a different sense, or like the way you process something is different. It's basically like taking two different roads to the same outcome. It's like people who can like taste smells, or like I know see sound or anything like that. I don't really have any like what I have with it is not like super cool. I can't do anything other people can't do. I do the same thing but just slightly in a different way, basically. Like to me, kind of information is kind of patterns and lines, and so the way I kind of hold information in my head is different, basically. And it means I can do like arithmetic very quickly because like the example is like the number 6 in my head is a dark yellow color and 7 is a bright red color. And when I put those two numbers together in my head, they make a pattern and another color, and I know that that pattern and that color is 13. And so a lot of it is just remembering colors and how they work. And it's the same with like people as well. The way I kind of it makes a lot of things abstract. And so the way I kind of recall people in my head is like a set. It's like the way I can describe it. It's really hard to describe because it's like to me. But if I think about a person in my head, it's like a circle with lines in it and colors around, and that's how I kind of remember people. It sounds kind of weird, but yeah, it makes kind of a lot of things abstract like that, I guess. But yeah, it's interesting, but it's just, I mean, it doesn't it doesn't let me do anything other people can't do. It's just the same thing but slightly different. Um, yeah, it's kind of weird and hard to describe ultimately. Um, yeah, like even when I was younger, like I could visualize information in a very weird way, and I thought it was normal until like I was in secondary school, and I realized it was like other people didn't really get that. But you know, it's not as like it's not really cool. I don't know if it seems like it, but it isn't. It's just you know, it's just doing normal things in a slightly more annoying way. Basically, it's not you know it's nothing super. Um, are you good at maths? Like some mental arithmetic, I can do very very quickly. Uh, just thinking the other day about your breathing thing. Does that mean you have apneas when you sleep? No, like I've never had one. It's just I think I don't know if it's like a kind of it's like an anxious thing or something. But because I used to breathe automatically, but ever since like leaving college, it's just been almost constant all the time. Um, but when I sleep, it seems to be fine. I mean, obviously, I'm around, so I think it's okay. I don't know, um, but yeah, I don't know. It's really strange, I guess, like that. But seem to be okay. Can you say UWU? Not here. On the secret stream if you can find it. So 1 second. I need to check something. My work account, if it will let me log in. Please. Hit the table very loud with the corner of my phone. Did not anticipate that. That was very loud. Sorry. Phone is not loading. Please load. Okay. I just need to check that everything is okay, basically. Always worry if I don't check it for a few hours. Oh, there's a message from Nisa saying, are you going to stream later? Yes, if you're still here. 1 second. Sorry if I'm being like not good at saying words. How am I being tagged? Where am I tagged? I got tagged somewhere on Lydia's Discord, but I can't find it. Oh well, I'll look later. Okay. Yeah, you did. Like I have a couple of different Discord accounts. There's the T one, which is the corner of my face, and then just oxygen_thief on Discord. 9988. That is me on there. I use both accounts though. Seablitz, thanks for hanging out. It's always nice. Hope you have a lovely day. How do I report a hacker? Go to the server replay, and there's a function there if you click on the little eye icon, and it will let you report for like restricted modifications and stuff. Now, it keeps saying I've got a tag here, but I can't find it. I can't see. Looking. Okay, right. Back here, back here. Imagine hacking? Yeah, I mean I think it's not as common as like a lot of people think, but you know, every now and again there's going to be something. The replay was instantly corrupted. Use the server replay on the TSS website. They're stored in a different way, and they're universal basically. So yeah, you can get it through there. Just search your name, and if you remember the map and the name of the person you think is hacking, you can watch their replay in their point of view with like where they're looking and everything from there. So that's the best place to go for it. Does the turret wiggle work with the Panthers? Kind of, but if you do it too much, you present the side armor, and the side armor is very, very weak. The side of the turret armor. So, yeah, like it can be a bit risky, but you can still do it. A little bit. I'll check that later. Goodbye, angels. Have a nice day. And Zoct as well. Nice day. Which Russian 6-3 vehicle should I research first? ASU 85, IS-2, or 2S3M? 2S3M is very, very fun. I would go with that one. The IS-2 is a bit more like reliable in that it's kind of, you'll probably die less because you have more armor. Like the armor of the ASU and the 2S3M are kind of poor. But the 2S3M is really fun with the HE. It's like really satisfying, and you should play that, I think. It's got the good round stock as well, not the best round, but you can use its stock pretty effectively. I would go with that. Funk machine? Yes. Okay. Great. I want more Ocean if I play Japanese ARB at 3-3. Yeah, I'm kind of, it's kind of a shame that they don't have, yeah, there's no real Pacific maps anymore. I think they were removed because bombers couldn't really do anything on them. And there was less like places to land, and then carrier, like non-carrier planes couldn't really land most of the time. And I think that's why they're mostly gone. But it is a shame because I like the thematics of the Pacific maps. That is really nice. So yeah, it's a shame that we don't have them anymore, really. Okay, that's fine. Is the Stera Mill the punchiest thing in its BR? One of them, yeah. With volumetric, it can be like a little bit hard, but yeah, it's a nice one. I mean, it's satisfying to use, but the vehicle apart from the gun is not immensely impressive. But yeah, it's pretty okay in terms of like damage potential. Play Roblox? I don't think so. Still, Japanese team versus US team on one of the Pacific Island maps is so fun and thematic. Yeah, I missed that. I missed the historical matchmaking because it made the climb, there was more to do in the climb. Because if you were like America fighting Japan at like 4-3 to 5-3, if you knew about the aircraft in that bracket, you'd know what you were fighting and you knew where to put yourself based on like what can climb where. Now that it's all completely mixed, there's not really any ability to kind of guess what you're like fighting against, because if you're playing against like 8 different nations, not 8 different nations, like I don't know, 5-6 nations, you can't really guess accurately what you're going to be playing because there's so many options. And so I really miss the historical matchmaking for that. Also, from Dwagon, are you still here? If you want my Discord, I can send that to you. Well, do you want? I don't know if you're here. Do you want my like Discord that I manage, or like my me on there? Let me know. Because I'm not sure. Okay. How to AMX50. I can never pronounce the last one. It's I mean, it's difficult. I haven't played it enough recently, I think, to give an answer good enough. Like to give a good enough answer, basically. But your armor is kind of okay from the front and from far away, and the gun is pretty capable from far away as well. And so again, it's one of those vehicles that doesn't really gain anything from playing at close range. If you play at long range, your armor is more reliable, and at the same time, your excuse me, your reload is so quick that by the time, like if you're a long way away, by the time that you land your first shot, even if you don't kill, you can follow up with the second one before the enemy can really like fire back. And that's really, really useful to have. So at long range, you can do some really good work and adapt from your shells really quickly. And it's one of those vehicles that gets the most advantage at long range, and it gets more disadvantages at close range. So I would, yeah, I would mitigate that, really. It's the main thing. Talked about it in your vids. Talked about what? Sorry, I might have missed one. Also, at 5:30, I guess that's a good time to wind down a little bit. That's okay. We have been going for a while. It's on my face. Terrible. Looking away now. Yeah, a couple more questions, I guess, and then we can zone out, wind down a little bit. Oh, no, I haven't talked about it in my videos. I haven't done France yet. I kind of want to do France. I'm not sure what I'll do next, but we'll see. What happens when you report a player? It goes to our internal system, to the right moderator, and they can review every string of information about it. So it goes directly to a person every time. It doesn't just disappear. Is Mavericks for AA? Am I doing it wrong? I can't say that. If you're getting kills, then you're doing something right. I love the Meteor F8, but its efficiency for tier 7 is poor. Yeah, it can't research tier 7 effectively. It's a lovely, lovely plane though. Back in the day, like this was like 9 years ago, if you flew the Meteor long wing upside down, it would fly faster, and you could get some absolutely insane games by doing that. I miss those kinds of bugs. Do it. Go to sleep, it's midnight here. Understandable. Get a good rest, and we will see you. Well, if you want to tune in tomorrow, there'll be German stream, but you'll probably see me on Thursday with Mike. Okay, do a couple more. Bring back Mach 1 PO2. That was very fun. I like that a lot. Like you could do the same thing with the HS129. I think that was actually really fun. I missed that. I really do. Second. Okay. All good? Yes? Yes, okay, cool. Miss the siege user stays. Yeah, like the Sea Meteor's kind of left down in the dumps. I mean, it's still fun. It's still like a good jet, but yeah, it's not as good as it was. Like back in the day when that was 6-7 for a while. Remember, very fun. And thanks, Anola. I really appreciate it. I will try my best. You too. Better have a good evening. I'll be having words with you. Good afternooneth. Good afternooneth. I'll only be here for a few more minutes, if that's okay. But thanks for coming in anyway. Nice to see you. The stream tomorrow will start at 5 hour time. So like 25 minutes ago, but tomorrow, basically. Make the HE162 great again. It's great now. HE162 is still really fun. I really like it. That thing is deceptively agile when it comes to dogfighting. I like that. I really like it, actually. It's fun. I like it. I'm not playing right now. I am just doing talking. But yeah, the footage in the background is mine. It's just kind of old. What time zone are you in? I am British, but I work here in Germany for Gaijin. So I'm in the German office right now. So, but yes, I am from the UK. I am English. Okay. Well, I guess that's as good a time as any to vacate, if that's okay. Thank you all for being here. It's been a very fun day. Nice to be a bit more social, even if it is like a day off. It's been pretty nice. Thank you all for being here. I would raid someone, but I can't on this account because I don't have access exactly to the official one. I would if I could, so sorry about that. I kind of want to, but it is not possible, fortunately. But yes, thank you all for being here. It's been very nice. Thank you all for talking and just being here and that kind of thing. Thank you for the bongo cats, Nicer. Reminds me, you should subscribe to Hannah to get those. I'll think about it if possible. Yeah, okay. As you probably know, I'm really bad at doing goodbyes. They take ages. But I will, I'll see all of you on Thursday, or in the meantime, I guess, if you like. But yeah, anyway, have a lovely week, lovely day, and I will see you very soon.